Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is KUGR Sports coming to you live from the Patterson Baseball Complex in Spokane, Washington. I'm Smith Slye, joined by Nathan Eshelman, doing a quick sound check before the broadcast to make sure that we are getting levels and you can hear us at home through the YouTube stream. Nathan, go ahead.
I'm just excited to be here in Spokane, my hometown where I was born. Great time for baseball. Sun finally out in Eastern Washington. No more rain for hopefully the rest of this game at least.
And if you're confused as why the Cougs are playing today and not yesterday, it's because they canceled the game yesterday on account of rain and account of weather. So now they've moved it to today to play on March 25th, 2026. And like you said, it is a phenomenally beautiful day in Eastern Washington, and it was a very fun drive for us. It's a lot of Wazoo students make the drive up to Spokane very often, so I'm very familiar with this drive, and it's just a beautiful part of the country to drive through and a beautiful, beautiful ballpark to be at today for some Division One baseball non-conference. Obviously, the Gonzaga Bulldogs in the WCC, the Washington State in the Mountain West Conference. At least for this, their last year in the Mountain West Conference, and they'll be joining the new look Pac-12. So definitely a very exciting matchup on hand. We'll be on air for pregame in a few minutes. We'll go on at about 5:50. Game time is 6 o'clock, so pregame at about 5:50. First pitch at 6 o'clock. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR, Cougar College Radio. I'm Smith Slye, joined by Nathan Eshelman. We'll be back in just a little bit.
This is a KUGR sports production.
Good pass down low to Airstrip, and he scores off the glass.
Giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He's stuck at the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
What a play! What a kill by Brewstad!
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, on to the game.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
203 wins and 111 losses. That is the all-time record of the Washington State Cougars versus the Gonzaga Bulldogs for baseball on the diamond. Both these teams very, very familiar with each other after 300 all-time matchups. But today they're facing off in this one-off non-conference matchup at the Patterson Baseball Complex in beautiful Spokane, Washington. And you couldn't have picked a better day, better venue for some very exciting D1 baseball. Both these programs incredibly hot coming in to this single game matchup. Washington State University is coming off a 3-game series sweep of the GCU Antelopes at home, their home opening series. But then, of course, the Gonzaga Bulldogs just as hot. Took 2 of 3 games against the San Diego Toreros in WCC conference play. So both these teams starting off really well in conference play. Washington State University 4-2 in the conference, and the Gonzaga Bulldogs 2-1 in the conference. But we'll see how these two powerhouse baseball programs take each other on here in Spokane, Washington. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Smith Slye, joined by Nathan Eshelman in the broadcast booth at the Patterson Baseball Complex. Nathan, as we're getting closer to first pitch at 6 p.m., what are we kind of expecting in this Eastern Washington rivalry matchup?
And I mean, what you're expecting today is probably a lot of runs, good hits. And the reason because of this, both of these teams so far this season have shown their ability to put up high numbers. I mean, Gonzaga had 23 runs in 1 game this season. It was a high-scoring game, looked like a football score for a non-football program school. But they will probably put up some high runs, especially because it's a bullpen matchup between the two teams. Brock Blatter, the starter for Washington State, and Garrett Gores for Gonzaga. They're kind of starters that aren't necessarily starters. They're going to have low innings when they do their appearances. So it's going to have to be a lot of good team baseball coming from their bullpens. And I think the main difference in the matchup will be whose bullpen shows up, who's honed in on the game, and who can do their best to not give up and as many runs.
And that's something you see a lot in these one-off non-conference matchups with the Cougs and with Gonzaga. They will not start their typical starting pitchers. It's usually going to be a bullpen day. You're going to see guys who do not start a lot. Like you mentioned, Garrett Gores starting for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. He's made 4 appearances so far this year, none of which have been starts. So this is first time starting a game. But you then look at Brock Blatter for the Washington State Cougars. He has made 1 appearance so far this year, and it was a start against the University of Utah. And that was his return to the diamond. Dealt with an injury last season and made his Cougar return against Utah. Only went 1 inning of scoreless baseball. That's all they were really kind of asking for him on his return back to the diamond. He did his job, and they're going to ask him to do it again against Gonzaga. And the question is he going to go is he going to 1 inning wonder? Is that what they're trying to do, to slow roll him back out? Or are you going to see Brock Blatter maybe have a little bit of a longer outing today in this non-conference matchup?
I mean, it's going to definitely be a challenge with the types of bats that Gonzaga has. They have multiple guys that can get on base. They don't necessarily have to get a hit. So there's about 5 guys in their lineup that can hit above 4 or about 350. And that's a really good sign if you're Gonzaga. You're getting your guys on base and you're driving them in with a couple different RBIs. The top of the order is definitely a scary sight to see if you're Brock Blatter. So we'll see how he goes to start off this game.
Yes, the Gonzaga Bulldogs are a team that definitely love the long ball. They have 24 home runs as a team thus far this year. But then you look at the Cougs, and they only have 12. And I'm going to say that again. 24 home runs for Gonzaga, 12 for Washington State. So Gonzaga has twice the amount of home runs that Washington State has on the year. And in large part, that's because the Patterson Baseball Complex here is a bit of a short yard. 328 to left, 328 to right, 400 to dead center. But with the winds that you get here in Eastern Washington, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these balls that might be flyouts, might be warning track shots, wall scrapers, might just have the legs to get out. So obviously Gonzaga loves the long ball. Washington State, not so much. They're a small ball team. That's the identity of Nathan Schote's program. That's been the identity this year as well. A lot of bunts, a lot of sack bunts. It just seems to be their approach. But when you're on a yard like this, maybe you put the bat back in their hands and maybe you try and swing for the fences every now and then.
I think they do have potential of that. They have a lot of great athletes who have power. Matt Priest, Max Hartman, Dustin Robinson, and the freshman catcher, Alexandre Giguere, all have power in their swings. And Giguere specifically, he hit 3 home runs in 2 games and got freshman of the week for the Mountain West. So he could definitely be a name to just launch one over the left field wall. Wynn is also carrying that way as well. It could be an exciting game. If there's multiple home runs, we'll definitely be excited for that.
Yeah, the Cougs definitely have quite a few really talented freshmen on this squad, one of which who's been the star so far this year. It's been Trevor Smith, batting .342 on the year. He's got a .548 slugging percentage, 25 hits, 6 doubles, 3 RBIs, which is just shy of Max Hartman's 4. So he's a freshman who's staying step in step with the senior from Alberta, Canada. But of course, I mentioned Trevor Smith. He is not in the lineup. He was not in the lineup for all 3 of those GCU games. He won't be in the lineup for today's game as well. You might be wondering why. It's because he hurt his hamstring during that University of Utah game before the GCU series. So Coug fans are definitely missing Trevor Smith. He's not in the lineup. And to take his place in the leadoff spot in that GCU series and in today's game as well, it's Gavin Roy, the senior from Sudbury, Ontario. And he is a guy who is having a real hot streak as of late.
I mean, he's a great person to fill into the job for Trevor Smith. Led off last season for Washington State, now coming right back into that spot. Going to be in the 1 spot, and he's getting on base almost half the time. A .468 OBP is amazing and phenomenal. Only 11 strikeouts to 10 walks as well. He's very disciplined behind the plate, and he understands how to get the game flowing and going the way that the Cougars want to. And he might not be the type of guy to get it over the wall as a couple other guys on the team will, but he will find a way to start a run and get on base. And honestly, walks and singles is what really starts the scoring.
Absolutely. And we mentioned it before that this is a one-off game. It is not a series against Gonzaga, but that's kind of how it is with Washington State and Gonzaga. They rarely play weekend series, but the series is broken up over the year. So they'll play this the first time they're playing them this year. They'll play them again a few more times throughout the year. So this is kind of the first taste of these 2 teams in the 2026 season getting to play each other as both teams are getting ready for the first pitch here at the Patterson Baseball Complex. Should be an exciting day for Cougar baseball, for Gonzaga baseball as well. Their home opener, their first 21 games so far this year have been on the road. They are finally back in Spokane to play in front of the Gonzaga faithful, and I am super excited to see what happens in today's matchup. We're just about to the national anthem and roster announcements. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR, the home of all Cougar sports. I'm Smith Slye, joined by Nathan Eshelman in the broadcast booth. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you're listening, if you want to catch every single Cougar sport live. We'll be back in just a few moments. Don't you dare go anywhere.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
We're back here in Spokane, Washington at Patterson Baseball Complex. Looking at the starting lineups, Washington State ready to bat. Starting at the 1 spot, shortstop Gavin Roy. At the 2, the left fielder Matt Priest. In center field, filling in for Trevor Smith, Max Hartman. Filling at the DH spot in the 4, Ollie Obenauer. In right field and the 5 spot, Dustin Robinson. Following him is the second baseman, Dane Chavez. In the 7 spot, Brian Shawnsby. In the 8 hole, Alexandre Gaguerre. And finishing out the lineup, Kyler Northrup. And then on the mound, going up against them for pitching for Gonzaga, is Garrett Gores.
And you mentioned it there, Nathan, that leading off for the Cougs today, it's Gavin Roy in the playing shortstop. He's the starting shortstop for Washington State, played every single game last year for Washington State at the shortstop spot. And he, for much of this year, has been in the 9-hole spot, the second leadoff spot, mainly because Trevor Smith, he has been the dog, the freshman who's been getting it done for Washington State, pulled his hammy against Utah, so he is out of the lineup. So you got to find someone to put in that leadoff spot. So why not go back to the guy who was your leadoff almost all of last year, Gavin Roy, the senior from Sudbury, Ontario. And really, there's no one better to be in that leadoff spot. He is incredibly hot so far recently, but this year as well. 11 multi-hit games so far this season. I'm going to say that one more time. 11 multi-hit games so far this year, along with 5 multi-RBI games as well. And recently, he's on a 9-game hit streak and has 16 hits in his last 9 games. This is a guy who his bat is red hot at the moment, and he's someone who can definitely kick this game off on a great note for you. If he can get a base hit, then you got Matt Priest and Max Hartman to follow him up. So this is a trio of Cougs who can do damage at the dish.
I mean, it's a really great job by Nathan Cho. He's got his guys ready to go. I mean, Gavin Roy in the 9 spot, maybe he had something to prove a little bit to get back to the top of the order as well. But with Trevor Smith being the young dog, having to come out because of a hamstring injury, you got the old dog, the senior, coming right in to fill his spot. And now 380 batting average, he's looking to bump it up, maybe above 400 by the end of the game.
Garrett Gores from the windup, he fires. And the first pitch of this ball game is on the outside corner for strike 1. Gavin Roy took it all the way. I mentioned before, Garrett Gores, a graduate student. He's a Spokane native, actually went to Spokane Falls Community College before joining the Zags. And his second offering to Roy is swung on and fouled straight back a bit to the right side, well out of play, and it's strike 2 to Gavin Roy.
It's an interesting stadium shape we have here in Spokane. That foul ball definitely went into the parking lot. My car, luckily to the left. Hopefully no foul balls go that way.
Ideally. It's a 0-2 count for Gavin Roy. You're on the top of the first. This ball game just began as this next pitch is chopped over to the shortstop, Sanchez. He fires over to first. Is it in time? Yes, it is. The throw was high, but Eisenstadt leapt off the bag to make the grab, laid the tag down on Gavin Roy to get the out. So a bit of a scary sight there for the Gonzaga defense. They still get the outs, and it'll be Matt Priest coming up to the dish.
Ricky Sanchez had a little bit of a tough play on it. It was chopped so high over the mound. He had to snag it with the left glove, and the jump throw went a little high, but just an amazing athletic play by Eisenstadt to stay locked in and get him out.
1 out in the top of the first. The first offering to Matt Priest. He swings at it. A high pop-up into the foul ground on the first base side. Eisenstadt goes a long way to track it down, but he's underneath it, makes the catch. Out number 2. A quick pair of outs here in the top of the first, still scoreless, 0-0 in Spokane.
A phenomenal start for Garrett Gores, and if you're the head coach for Gonzaga, you're loving what you're seeing. It's quick outs, and Washington State usually likes to play the long game. They like to play small ball. Very aggressive start so far.
And it brings up the 3-hole hitter, Max Hartman, the standout Coug year after year, as Gores winds and he fires. High and tight, just missed the hands of Hartman. It's ball 1. The first ball tossed by Gores so far in this matchup.
Everything's been attacking the zone, in Washington State, usually a team that kind of sits back and watches them, they've been very aggressive.
Roy was a righty, Priest was a righty, and Hartman's the first lefty that Gores is facing. And see, he just grounds this one to Eisenstadt, who barely fields it, calls off Gores, steps on the bag himself, and retires the side. The Cougs go 3 up, 3 down, getting no runs on no hits, no errors, leave nobody on base, and the top of the first comes to a close. The game still scoreless, 0-0. Cougs versus Gonzaga. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR, Cougar College Radio. We're going to step aside for just a few moments as Brock Blatter takes the mound for his second appearance as a Coug. We'll be back in just a few moments.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
We're back here in Spokane, Washington. Gonzaga ready to swing after a quick 3-up, 3-down, top of the first, 0-0 here between Washington State and Gonzaga. Ready to take the first swing is Bo Schinkel, the center fielder, at the 1 spot. Below him in the 2, Noah Meffett. And at the 3 spot, the third baseman, Mikey Bell. Following him, the left fielder, Ryder Young. And then in the fifth spot is Tommy Eisenstadt. Made a lot of great plays on the top of the first. And then following him is the designated hitter, Maddox Haley. And then following him is the shortstop, Ricky Sanchez. And now in the 8th spot, Hudson Shoup. And then finally in the 9 hole, Jacob Grudelski. And now for the bottom of the first, we're going to hand it off to Smith Slye back on play-by-play commentary.
Thank you, Nathan. As you mentioned, Bo Schinkel leading it off for Gonzaga. Brock Blatter on the mound for the Cougs. This is his second appearance on the year. Made his Cougar debut this season against Utah, and now he's coming in to hopefully shut down this high-powered Gonzaga offense as he winds and fires his first offering. Outside corner taken for strike 1.
And that did, from our angle, we have a little bit of a tough angle looking left into the home plate. So it looked a little outside, but umpire called it a strike.
The 0-1 offering to Schinkel. Breaking ball that misses well high for ball 1. Evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike to Schinkel.
I mean, yeah, that one wasn't too much of a competitive pitch. It looked like a breaking ball that just got away from him, went up and high.
Even count 1-1. Brock Blatter takes a breath from the windup. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball chopped right in front of the mound in foul territory. Giger leaped up immediately to try and make a play on it, but the home plate umpire, Tyler Schmidt, called that off immediately, saying that it was foul. So it moves it to a 1 ball and 2 strike count on Schinkel. And let's see if Brock Blatter can't compete and put him in his back pocket.
I mean, that was a great job by Giger following the play, and Schmidt, great job reading it as well. It did seem like a chopped foul, but Giger was ready to throw him out at first.
Schinkel digs himself back in, lefty batter, righty pitcher. And Schinkel's a junior from Kansas. And here's his 1-2 pitch. Well high, tips out of the glove of Giger, and it evens up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Not what you want to see out of the freshman pitcher. Only 1 appearance is now another start for him. He's going kind of wild with his pitches.
Scoreless game so far in the bottom of the first. Blatter, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, lined into left field. Is that fair? Yes, it is. It touches down. It'll roll to the wall. Priest tries to track it down. Schinkel's around first. He's into second. He'll pump the brakes. It's a lead-off double for Bo Schinkel to get Gonzaga on base early.
A great job sending it into left field. Just followed through with his swing. Just late contact. Just a perfect hit into the left field. Went past the warning track, or went past the foul line, and it was a hard play for Matt Priest to make. And now being in left field, he doesn't have the most speed on Washington State, so it took some time to get there. Easy double for Schinkel.
He'll bring up Noah Meffert for Gonzaga with a runner on second. The first pitch to him is just on that inside corner, strike 1, and he falls behind early. Runner in scoring position. Schinkel at second after that leadoff double. Blatter in trouble early in the bottom of the second. Scoreless ball game. Checks the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball that just dances into the zone for strike two, and he's ahead early on Mefford, as I mentioned before. 0-2. Can he put him away?
Brock Blatter, in his first appearance, he did give up a hit, so he might have a chance to make up for it in a similar approach and similar inning.
0-2 pitch to Mefford. Here it is. Just misses low for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mefford. And he's a redshirt senior out of Coopville, Washington. Initially from Point Loma Nazarene University. And this is his first year as a Bulldog.
Mefford is strikeout prone. 28 strikeouts, leads the team.
Here's the 1-2 offering. Misses low and inside. Ball 2 evens it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mefford.
And that looked like it almost caught him on the inside leg, but Blatter able to just avoid him. Don't want to give up any free passes this early into the ballgame.
And last year with Nazarene, Mefford batted .338 and had 26 extra base hits. So he's definitely a dangerous bat. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and drilled into right field. It'll touchdown in front of Robinson. Schinkel, he'll get the stop sign at third. They're not going to send him. But now Gonzaga has him parked on first and third. Schinkel at third, Mefford on first. And this is a dangerous situation for the Cougs with no outs in the bottom of the first.
This is starting to look a little scary. The freshman just kind of left that one hanging down the middle from the looks of it. And Mefford did not really like that. He just wanted to send that to the right side. And good job by Robinson getting there quickly. He had to stop Schinkel from moving and advancing and hung it in the air a little bit. I feel like that could have been a run, but he just stopped and hesitated on second. So no run scored so far.
First pitch to Mikey Bell, hits him on the shoulder, stands his ground, wears it off the Evo shield, and the bases are juiced for Ryder Young to possibly cash in early in this game.
I mean, my goodness, this is looking very rough right now for the freshman pitcher Blatter. He's going to have to get talked to from multiple sides. It looks like Northrup and Giguere going to the mound to make sure that he understands that this is a big moment. Bases are loaded, 0 outs. It's going to be a tough pickle to get out of.
That's your team captain, Gavin Roy, coming to the mound to kind of calm down Brock Blatter, along with Giguere. Giggy, as he's called, his nickname. And as I mentioned before, brings up Ryder Young, the junior out of Upland, California, transferred in from Chaffey College, his first year as a Bulldog. Great opportunity. Here's his first pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back, whizzes past the helmet of Giguere, and he's behind early, 0-1.
That was a hack. He wanted to send that one deep. He seemed like he had his eyes on the left field wall when still carrying pretty heavily. He wants maybe a grand slam to start this game.
0-1 count to Young. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball that just misses his shoulder. Ball 1 evens it up. 1 ball and 1 strike. And last year with Chaffey College, he batted .411 and OPS 1.214. No, that's not a typo. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, fouled, right side, well out of play, and into the parking lot. Makes it a 1 ball and 2 strike count to the junior Ryder Young. And Ryder Young this summer is going to be playing in the WCL West Coast League with the Wenatchee Apple Sox. So he's getting a little taste of the Gonzaga Bulldogs here before he heads to the Wenatchee Valley. 1-2 pitch is smashed, drilled in the center field, but Hartman's got a beat on it, parked underneath it, makes the catch, Schinkel tags, he's going to come home to score, into third base, Mefford, and the Gonzaga Bulldogs draw first blood early in this matchup. It's 1-0 in the bottom of the first.
Even though that only scores 1 run, it's big. It's a start to the game, and it's really making Blatter look a little, I mean, that was scary. That one was a deep fly ball, did not necessarily reach the warning track, but Ryder Young has a lot of pop in his bat and also leads Gonzaga in RBIs. He's not the guy you want to be pitching to in a grand slam scenario.
Well, now it brings up the 5-hole hitter, Tommy Eisenstadt. He's a graduate student out of California, and he is a really hot bat for this team, batting .275 so far this season. First pitch to him, a curveball that just tickles that outside corner. Strike 1 to Eisenstadt.
Now, that was a good pitch. That's a hard pitch to hit. Eisenstadt, I mean, all these guys for Gonzaga, they seem like they can hit. He's another guy that can send it into the outfield. Don't want to give him anything easy.
0-1 pitch to Eisenstadt. Another breaking ball. This just misses that top rail. Evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Gonzaga leading. It was Ryder Young who just had that fly up to center field to bring home Schinkel. Medford at third. At first base, it is Mikey Bell. As they check over on him, throw over. Shawnsby can't get the tag down, and he's in safely.
And Blatter might want to do another pickoff attempt, even if it's not too easy of an attempt. Just slow the game down. It's not a great scenario, but a double play could get him quickly out of it.
1-1 pitch is lifted into left field, drifting over Matt Priest. Does he have a beat on it? It's in foul ground. Dives, can't make the catch. Touches down. It bounces into the Cougar bullpen. Matt Priest showing off the wheels, showing off the hustle, showing off the heart to try and lay out and make that play. Doesn't get it, and it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count for Eisenstadt.
Well, Medford was ready to run, so even if Priest did make that amazing athletic catch, it probably would have brought in another run for Gonzaga, so it could be a blessing in disguise for the Cougars.
Eisenstadt has to catch his breath here, dig himself back into that lefties batter's box. And Eisenstadt rocking no batting gloves. That's about as gritty as it gets in college baseball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Blatter. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball. That fooled him. And no, he must have gotten a piece of it and fouled it off the legs of Giger. So Eisenstadt will stay up for another 1-2 pitch.
I mean, that seemed like it was a swing and miss, but just maybe a tip of the ball is all it was, but that's all he needs. 1-2 count. Still an opportunity to score for Gonzaga.
Deja vu. Here's the 1-2 again. Swung on and fouled straight back. Looked like it almost might have come into the press box. I know you definitely got your heart going a little bit there, and the count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Did not have my hands ready. I mean, I can usually try to palm it, but that one just came a little bit of a shocker.
Runners on first and third. Gonzaga leading 1-0 in the bottom of the first. 1-2 count to Eisenstadt. Here's the pitch again. Just misses low and outside. Giger is able to keep it in front of him. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the graduate student Eisenstadt. And Brock Blatter getting tested early on in this matchup. We're just in the bottom of the first. He's only already thrown 22 pitches. He'll check over on Mikey Bell at first. He's in safely headlong. And now Brock Blatter, like you mentioned, Nathan, maybe just trying to slow things down a little bit. Gonzaga really punched him in the mouth. Bo Schinkel with that leadoff double that came around to score. Noah Meffert had a single, and then Mikey Bell wore a pitch off the Evo shield, and he's at first base at the moment. And the 2-2 pitch to Eisenstadt. Breaking ball misses the top rail. Fills it up. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tommy Eisenstadt. Can he get it done? Can he cash in with a runner in scoring position?
Well, Blatter, he really cannot walk him in this situation. Already such a high pitch count with only 1 out in the bottom of the first. Full count. He needs this to be a good pitch.
Payoff pitch. Runner takes off. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. The throw down this second. They have him caught in between. They're going to strike on Mefford at home. Fire to the plate. It's offline. He scores. Throw to second. He's safe. Everybody's safe. The Cougs botch the situation, and Gonzaga takes a 2-0 lead.
Now, that was great chaos ball by Gonzaga. You know that your guy is in a rundown from first to second, and if he's out, you're out because the inning is over. It was a great job by Meffert putting the pressure on, running to home, and the throw was offline. Giger could not even haul it in, and the throw to second not in time either. It was a smart play by Gonzaga and a great job just breaking the system of Washington State's defense, and just an easy way to score.
And Nathan Choate's going to walk out to the mound here and talk things over, brings in the entire infield to talk things over with Brock Blatter, who is facing some trials and tribulations early on in this non-conference matchup. Gonzaga leading 2-0. Bo Schinkel kicked it off with a leadoff double. Noah Meffert followed it up with a single to move Schinkel into third. Mikey Bell wore a pitch on the Evo shield to juice the bases. Ryder Young hit an absolute deep shot to center field to bring home Schinkel. And then just then, Tommy Eisenstadt swung and missed at a pitch well outside. And then Gonzaga was able to get themselves stuck in a rundown, which allowed Meffert to sneak home and allowed Mikey Bell to scamper into second base. So now Gonzaga has Mikey Bell on second base in scoring position. Maddox Haley to the plate. Righty on righty action. Let's see if Gonzaga can't make it a 3-0 game. First pitch to Haley. Swung on, lifted into right field, into the gap. Will they get down? Yes, it will. It'll roll to the wall. Haley's going to round first. He's in the second. Will he think about 3? No, he'll shut it down at second base. It's an RBI double for Haley on the first pitch that he sees. It's 3-0 Bulldogs.
What an explosion of offense from Gonzaga. Blatter just threw a fastball down the middle. It seemed like that was a meatball, and Maddox ate it up, sending it down the line or down the gap in right field, hits the Bulldog sign, and just an amazing start for Gonzaga. And I did want to mention Eisenstadt technically had an RBI strikeout that last at bat. Kind of crazy, but Gonzaga just a great job in the bottom of the first.
You don't see RBI strikeouts all that much. As Ricky Sanchez digs into the right-handed batter's box, swings to the first pitch he sees. It's up the middle. It's in the center field. Around third, Haley. He's coming home to score. Will they cut it off? Yes, they will. An RBI single for Ricky Sanchez on the first pitch that he sees. They are just smashing Brock Blatter early in this game.
My goodness, it's really looking rough for the freshman. He cannot get his pitches under control, and Gonzaga understands that he's going to probably have a couple of mistake pitches, and they've taken full advantage of them. They have 4 hits off of them, and I mean a deep sac fly as well, so technically 5. Great contact swings off of the pitcher Blatter, and that you might have to get pulled. I mean, this is just a very, very rough appearance. Only 2 outs compared to the 7 batters that have been up, along with the 4 runs. It's really not what you wanted to see out of your freshman if you're Nathan Choate.
Well, the Cougs will call to the bullpen, bring in a relief arm after only 1/3 of an inning. You blinked, and Brock Blatter is officially out of this game. They'll be leaning on Tabor Fast to relieve him, the left-hander out of Chehalis, Washington. So we'll be back after he warms up. Gonzaga leading 3-0. Only 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Washington State punched in the mouth early in this non-conference matchup. Again, I'm Smith Slye, joined by Nathan Eshelman on KUGR Cougar College Radio, the home of Cougar baseball and all Cougar athletics. We'll be back in just a little bit. Tabor Fast comes in relief of Brock Blatter. He's got a runner on first base with 1 out, and the first pitch to Hudson Shoup is smashed into right field, but right at Dustin Robinson, makes the catch at his chest, and that does it for the bottom of the first, but not before the Gonzaga Bulldogs get 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, leave 1 man on base, and they kick off this non-conference matchup just how they wanted. 4-0 here in their home opener in beautiful Spokane, Washington, the Patterson Baseball Complex. We'll be back for the top of the second inning here on KUGR Cougar College Radio.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Well, Brock Blatter's day might be over, but Garrett Gores will continue. He's still on the mound for the Gonzaga Bulldogs after they put up 4 runs in the bottom of the first to make this a 4-0 ball game. And leading off here for Washington State in the top of the second, it's Ollie Obenauer, the sophomore from San Jose, California. As Gores from the windup fires the first offering to him, misses that top rail, ball 1 to Obenauer.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan Choate told his guys to change the game plan a little bit. They were very aggressive, only 6 pitches from Gores, and now he might have to get his pitch count up if they want to get more comfortable in this game.
Next pitch to Obenauer, misses outside, ball 2, so he's ahead 2-0 against Gores. And Ollie Obenauer has only played 8 games, all 8 of which have been starts. Also wears number 8 on his jersey. Hopefully that's a sign of some good luck in this matchup. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 3. It's a 3-0 count for Ollie Obenauer.
Very small sample size so far this season, but he's another guy who can get on base about a third of the time, and the Cougars really need him right now after that really bad defense on the 4th inning, or in the bottom of the first.
The 3-0 pitch sails high and outside for ball 4. Obenauer just watched it sail well past him, and he's on base with a leadoff walk conceded by Gores.
Well, that was right there. Ollie Obenauer did not get the bat off his shoulder. That was just patient offense. And earlier in the top of the first, they were swinging at balls outside of the zone, and that led to foul balls and quick outs. And right there, Obenauer doing a great job getting on base.
He'll bring up Dustin Robinson batting in the 5 hole. He's got a runner on first base, down by 4 runs. Gores from the stretch. Hill left, Hill fire. Right down Main Street, strike 1 taken all the way.
Robinson is a guy with a lot of power. He could pop it down the line and maybe even out of the park. Cougars could use a little bit of offense right now.
And despite the power that he has with his 6'3" frame, he has no home runs on the year. Could change today. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. That fooled him. He's behind 0-2 against Garrett Gores.
Not a great swing right there. He's got to be a little bit more patient and does not want to fall behind after 3 pitches strikeout after a 4-pitch walk. That would just be the worst way to follow up Obenauer's walk.
Quick pickoff attempt over to check on Ollie Obenauer. He's back in, gets the hand in. He's safe. And Dustin Robinson still awaiting his 0-2 offering. And Dustin Robinson last year with Cypress Community College batted .349. So he's a guy who can really swing it. He's got the Bone Saber, the Rawlings Icon at the dish. Here's the 0-2. Outside, ball 1. He survives that offering. Say the Rawlings Icon, a very popular bat with Division I baseball. You'll see a lot of guys swinging it. Robinson in the left-handed batter's box facing the right-handed Garrett Gores. Runner on first, no outs. Top of the second. They'll pick over to Ollie Obenauer again. And again, he's back in safely, just trying to keep him tethered, anchored to first base.
It's amazing how many baseball bats there are. And they really do have a difference. Like each player will have a preference to how it feels. And really, the looks also matter as well.
Another pickoff attempt. And again, Ollie Obenauer in safely. And I think I've mentioned it a couple times on various broadcasts, but unlike the MLB, there is no rule on the amount of pickoff attempts. So as a pitcher in college baseball, you can pick off as many times as your heart desires.
No balk right there. Obenauer might have to step back again.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Outside breaking ball. Robinson can't get it, and he's sent packing back to the dugout. It'll bring up Dane Chavez for the Cougs.
Great job from Gores putting the pitch. Looked like it was also outside. Just so much speed. Robinson could not catch up to it, and a great strikeout to get the first out of the inning.
Well, Robinson was a lefty, and it brings up Dane Chavez, also a lefty, to face off against the right-handed Garrett Gores. Runner on first, 1 out. Here's another pickoff attempt, and again, Ollie Obenauer in safely. You really got to keep Obenauer tethered to the bag. Cannot afford to let him get too far off. Still 0-0 count for Dane Chavez, the kid from Kennewick. Here's the first offering to him. Squares the bunt, pulls it back. The pitch was well high, but it's gloved by Rubleski, and it's 1 ball and no strikes for Dane Chavez.
Well, Chavez, with how high that ball was, he was squared from the bunt. He did not pull back. No fear in his eyes, and Nathan Choate does like to teach his guys, be tough, be fierce, and take where pitches.
0-1 count, 1-0 count for Dane Chavez. Runner on first, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Another one sailed high past his chin for ball 2. So Dane Chavez ahead 2-0 against Garrett Gores. And Dane Chavez, the freshman, batting 190 so far this year. It's not the best average for him, but he has been into play for quite a few games. 17, 14 of which have been starts. Here's the next pitch to him, just on that top rail for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dane Chavez, who mentioned a freshman from Kennewick, Washington.
You mentioned that he may not have the greatest offensive performance to start the year, but he's had some phenomenal defensive plays, kind of Superman acrobatic type of ones as well.
2-1 count for Chavez. Here's the pitch, swung on and drilled in the center field. Schenkel can't make a play on it. It bounces into his glove, and it's a single for Dane Chavez to move Obenauer into second. And now the Cougs have a runner in scoring position with 1 out in the top of the second.
Good job turning off the hands as well. Goes just kind of bloops onto the Gonzaga logo in center field, and no shot for Schenkel to make the play. It's a small little bloop single, and now 2 runners on base. Some offense could really be had, and Ryan Shonsby, one of the captains, could really bring the offense going.
And Ryan Shonsby up to bat, the senior from Long Beach, California. This is a guy who really hits the ball well for the Cougs, batting .273 so far this year with 3 home runs. Here's the pitch to him. Swung on and chopped foul. Looks like it might have caught a piece of Rubleski before it's kind of trickled down that third baseline. Eric Hudding comes to pick it up for the Cougs. Now home plate umpire Tyler Schmidt will walk this ball out to Gores and kind of slow things down here in the top of the second.
Could end up helping Gores, giving up that hit on top of the walk. Not the cleanest of innings, especially compared to the top of the first. Right now, he's got 2 guys to worry about on base. No look for a pickoff attempt right now. Eisenstadt not even on the base.
4-0 lead for Gonzaga. They'll pick off the second base. The throw a little bit high. Obenauer gets back in safely. And good pickoff attempt there, coordinated. You can see Gores communicating there with Sanchez. Spins and fires the second, but they can't get Obenauer, who's back in safely.
Yeah, Ricky Sanchez doing a good job timing it, trying to pick him off at second, but good discipline as well to get back from Obenauer.
0-1 count for Shonsby. High for ball 1. Definitely missed with that fastball.
Shonsby, being the left-handed batter, might not be able to pull one with the wind, but it is still a short wall, 328. Sun's starting to set down on the left field wall. Maybe he can push one that side.
The 1-1 offering to Shonsby. Just misses that high outside corner, ball 2. And it's a 4-0 ball game. Gonzaga leading here in the top of the second. Cougs have runners on first and second. Dane Chavez at first, Ollie Obenauer on second. Obenauer drew a leadoff walk, and then Dane Chavez had an inside-out single to left center field. And now it's a 2-1 count for Shonsby. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A heavy hack from Shonsby. Can't get any of it, and it evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes to Shonsby, the senior from Long Beach. Transferred in from Cypress Community College. Played a role in Dustin Robinson deciding to transfer here. As this pitch is swung on and missed. A breaking ball that dropped off the table. Shonsby goes fishing and catches nothing.
Second phenomenal strikeout from Gores, and it's on the left-handed batters, the ones who he's supposed to struggle with. He catches the outside of the zone on them, catches the swing and misses, and 2 strikeouts this inning. Maybe he can get out with 0 runs.
Cougs with their back against the wall. Giger to the plate. 2 outs and 2 runners on. Down 4-0. First pitch to him, drilled into left field. It'll touch down in front of Young. He can't make a play on it. Rounding third, Obenauer comes home to score. They'll put the stop sign on for Sanchez as Giger slides feet first into second base. An RBI double for Alexandre Giger to make this a 4-1 game in the top of the second.
A great swing of the bat, pulls it to left field, and Young might have gotten the sun in his eyes trying to track it down, dove, but it just got under his glove and had to be fielded by Schenkel. And a great job, Giger. Lots of speed from the catcher. He was hustling down to the second base, and he was hyped. Got a run for the Cougars with maybe more to go with Northrop up.
First pitch to Kyler Northrup, the sophomore from Billings, Montana. It misses low and outside, ball 1 to him. Now the Cougs got runners on second and third. Gigier at second. Chavez at third. Kyler Northrup at the plates. The 1-0 pitch to him. Gores lifts and fires. Breaking ball that just kind of gets over into the zone for strike 1 and evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike to Kyler Northrup. And Northrup was a guy last year who was incredibly effective for Washington State. 10 multi-hit games, 3 multi-RBI games as well. Next pitch to him. Low and outside, ball 2.
Great job from Northrup, staying patient in the at-bat. He hasn't lifted the bat off his shoulder, and so far it's worked out. He's up 2-1 in the count. He's maybe going to have to send one, though, out. I don't know if Gore will let him get walked.
2 runners in scoring position, down 4-1. Here's the pitch. Well in the dirt for ball 3, and gets a very favorable count for Kyler Northrup. 3 balls and 1 strike. Gigier at second. Chavez at third. 2 runners in scoring position. They're down 4-1. Top of the second here at the Patterson Baseball Complex, home of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Gores, the right-hander for Gonzaga, lifts and fires. Swung on and lifted high in the air. Eisenstadt, the first baseman, he has a beat on it. Will he get called off? No, he'll take it himself, make the catch just in fair territory in shallow right field, and it retires the side for Washington State. They get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and leave 2 runners left on base. But it is now a 4-1 baseball game after Ollie Obenauer came around to score on an RBI double from the freshman Alexandre Gigier, and that does it for the top of the second here on KUGR Cougar College Radio. Tabor Fast back out on the mound for Washington State. We'll be back in a few moments to see if the Cougs can't turn things around early in this non-conference matchup.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Jacob Rubleski, Bo Schinkel, and Noah Meffert are the 3 guaranteed Bulldogs here in the bottom of the second. They lead it 4-1 after Washington State struck back with Ollie Obenauer coming around the score on an Alexandre Gigier RBI double. Like I mentioned, Jacob Rubleski, the right-hander, digging in to face off against Tabor Fast, who came in early in this game to relieve Brock Blatter. And the first pitch to Rubleski, breaking ball, a bender that just misses the zone. Ball 1 to Rubleski.
Tabor Fast had a pretty quick appearance in the bottom of the first. 1 pitch, 1 fly out to right field, and now he's ready to pitch some more.
Next offering to Rubleski, swung on and missed. Another off speed. Rubleski was fooled by it. It evens up the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was a nasty pitch from the left-hander. Just kind of caught above the swing of Rubleski. Just good location.
1-1 offering. Low and in the dirt. Good take by Rubleski. Makes it a 2 ball and 1 strike count. And Jacob Rubleski, a junior out of Okotoks, Alberta. And if that sounds familiar to you, it's because Max Hartman on the Cougs played for the Okotoks Dogs in the Western Canadian Baseball League. As the 2-1 pitch is smashed into left field over the head of Robinson. He can't make a play on it. It one-hops the wall. It gets over his glove. Rubleski rounds sack first. He's into second. He'll stop there. It's another double for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. A leadoff double for Jacob Rubleski. And the Gonzaga Bulldogs threaten early in the second.
If you're Washington State, you're getting bad deja vu. That's exactly how the Bulldogs led off the bottom of the first. It was a Bo Schinkel double, and now they're going to be the catcher Rubleski who gets a double of his own, 0 outs. Tabor Fast started the at-bat pretty well, but just a great job ripping it into right field.
I mentioned Bo Schinkel, and he's up to bat now for Gonzaga. Lineup card flips over. First pitch to him, squares to bunt, pops it up. Gigier makes the catch. No, it rattles out of his glove. A popped up bunt attempt. Gigier tried to track it down. He was right underneath it, dropped to a knee to slide and make the catch, but it rattled out of the glove, and he just botches that attempt to snag an out.
And that is a tough play to make for the catcher. Popped to the right side. He had to sprint after it, and he's a right-hander, so he had to catch it with his offhand. Couldn't connect with it, and it just falls foul.
0-1 pitch. Bender that misses the inside corner, evens it up. 1 ball and 1 strike to Schinkel.
Also, the turf to slide on could be different with the grip, but the Cougars do play on turf as well as Bailey Brayton.
Tabor Fast looks in, gets his signs. Comes set from the stretch, takes a breath, lifts, and fires. Misses inside, almost hit Schinkel on the hip. Was kind of standing his ground, but it just had enough break on it to not clip him on the hip. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bo Schinkel. Led off the top of the first with a double and came around to score after an RBI fly out by Ryder Young, sac fly. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Tickles that outside corner, taken all the way. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Schinkel.
Schinkel going to try to send some Kansas power the other way. He is a left-handed batter working against the left-hander Fast, so maybe he could actually pull one into right field.
2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Fast. Swung on, fouled through his legs back to the Gonzaga dugout, and it's grabbed by Mikey Bell, who kind of came out of the dugout there to grab it on the bare hands, and it keeps the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Schinkel.
Nice little chop, one-hand grab by Mikey Bell, ready to throw. Maybe not against his own squad, though.
Gonzaga trying to extend their 4-1 lead. Runner on second base. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, shot over to Ryan Shonsby. He fields it at his chest, stomps on first base to get the out, but it does move Wróblewski into third base. So Schinkel does his job in a sense with that 3-3 put out to move Wróblewski further into scoring position.
And with the Cougars only getting 1 run in the top of the second, any run put on by Gonzaga will just apply even more pressure for Washington State to score more in this game. Still a lot of time and innings left to go as we're only in the bottom of the second.
Noam Effort digs in, goes after the first pitch and fouls it straight back, a titch to the right, and he's behind 0-1 against Tabor Fast.
It's about the 4th pitch that's gone right side behind home plate foul. A lot of guys sending it to those cars. Maybe one guy's car is just getting doinked a couple times.
0-1 count to Meffert. Here's the pitch from Fast. Low and inside, ball 1, evens it up. 1 ball and 1 strike on Meffert, who had a single back in the bottom of the first, and it also came around to score along with Bo Schinkel. He's a part of the 4-1 lead that Gonzaga now holds. So here's the 1-1 offering. Swung on and smacked into right center field. Hartman makes the grab at his chest, tagging up. He comes down to score. It is 5-1, a sacrifice fly from Meffert to bring home Wróblewski, and the Gonzaga Bulldogs just continue to extend their lead.
Great job getting it in the air down to center field. Hartman he has a strong arm, but not that strong of an arm. Good job just running into home from Wróblewski, and he is another catcher that has a little bit of speed to him, some hidden athleticism, and easy score right there for Gonzaga.
5-1, they lead it here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Mikey Bell is a bender on the inside corner that just clips it for strike 1. Mikey Bell falls behind early. And Mikey Bell, a phenomenal talent on this Gonzaga team. He won the West Coast Conference Player of the Year last year. This next pitch jams him, sawed him off. It's a bloop shot into the shallow outfield. It touches down in shallow right field. Robinson picks it up. We'll get it in quickly. But nonetheless, it's a hit in the books for Mikey Bell, a single to get him on first base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
I mean, on scorecard, you can't see how they got it, and a single is a single for Mikey Bell. Really in on the hands and just blooped down past Dane Chavez, who sprinted so hard after it, his hat fell off, but unable to make the play. Gonzaga, another runner on base. Tabor Fast, with 2 outs in this inning, he's just got to get 1 more to get out of here.
Well, it's Ryder Young up now for Gonzaga with Mikey Bell at first. The lefty Fast, he'll wind, he'll fire, and just gets into the zone for strike 1. And Ryder Young was the man in left field in the top of the second, who tried to dive for a ball hit out to him by Gigier. It got past him and allowed Gigier to get into second, allowed Obenauer to score, and it's part of the reason why it's 5-1 Gonzaga. Next pitch is popped high in the air. Northrup at third base. He drifts into foul territory. He's under it for a while, reaches up, makes the catch, and retires the side, but not before the Gonzaga Bulldogs get 2 hits. Pardon me, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and leave 1 runner left on base in the bottom of the second. That'll do it. The Cougs are going to get the bats back in their hands for the top of the third, and we'll see what happens. Will they battle back, or will they crumble about a third of the way into this non-conference matchup? I'm Smith Slye, joined by Nathan Eshelman for KUGR, Cougar College Radio, the broadcaster for Cougar Baseball.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Gonzaga Bulldogs lead this game 5-1 after they put up 1 more run in the bottom of the second. We're into the top of the third. The Cougs have an opportunity to bounce back. And on play-by-play, it's Nathan Eshelman.
Thank you so much, Smith. And 5-1 lead for the Zags here in Spokane. Ready to pitch is Gores, and it's to Gavin Roy, who chops it foul. 0-1 to count at the top of the third. Washington State needs some offense to get back in it. Last inning, they were able to score a run, but left 2 runners on base. Could really come back to bite them. Gores, the right-handed pitcher. The wind and the delivery. Roy shows bunt, but pulls back. It's a high ball. 1-1. Now the count, 0 outs. Sun setting here in Spokane, Washington, Patterson Baseball Complex. No more issues for Ryder Young on any diving plays. Gores winds, delivers. Roy smokes one up to center. Just gets down, and he's going to get himself a base hit as Schenkel delivers it into second base, and a lead-off single for Gavin Roy.
That's just a good piece of hitting there from the senior from Sudbury. It's a good pitch to hit over the heart of the plate, and doesn't try to swing out of his shoes. Just tries to put a good contact swing to it, smack it back up the middle. And now you got the freshman Matt Priest, who recently won Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Week after he had a really great performance against Utah, against Grand Canyon. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does something here to move Roy around the diamond.
Matt Priest ready to swing. He did show bunt, gets away from Robleski, but he is able to control it. No advance from first base from Roy, and it's going to be a 1-0 count. As you mentioned, Priest might just bunt it to move him up the diamond, and Priest did have a pop fly in the top of the, or actually, yeah, he had a P3 in the top of the first, and a pickoff attempt on Roy, unsuccessful. 1-0 still the count to Matt Priest.
And Matt Priest has been super hot as of late in the past 2 series. You look to SDSU, he had a 3-hit, 3 RBI game. And against GCU, he had a 2-hit, 2 RBI game as well. So he's a guy who's got a hot bat in his hands.
Gores ready to wind up and deliver. Inside, breaking ball, catches the zone. Priest looks a little unhappy with the decision, looks back at the dugout, a little unhappy with that. Going to take some time to collect himself, ready for the next at-bat. 1-1 to count, 0 outs, top of the third, 5-1 lead for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Another pickoff attempt on Roy, gets back in time. Eisenstadt puts the glove on him, but real no attempt again, but just slowing the game down for Gores, who has gone 2 successful innings, has given up 1 run. Once again, that came in the top of the first. Priest sets in. Once again, it rips one to left field going, and it's gone. It's a 2-run shot pulled into the left field wall. Washington State scores 2 runs, and it's coming from the hot bat of Matt Priest. An absolute smoke show of a shot from the left fielder. He is amped, and he is showing his guys in the dugout, you give me a pitch in the zone, I'll hit it. And he pulled it over the wall. A great shot. Washington State, just like that, is down 2 runs in the top of the third. They got themselves back in this game with a moonshot. Not necessarily what they're known for, but a great job. Gores setting and delivered to now Max Hartman. It goes outside. 1-0 now the count. 0 outs in the top of the third.
That was an absolute moonshot from Matt Priest, showing the power, showing what he can do when you give him a shot, when you put him in the order, when you make him a starter, he will get things done for you with runners on.
Another pitch goes low, and it's 2-0 to Hartman. Hartman, one of the better hitters for Washington State, arguably the best hitter when Trevor Smith is not in the lineup. 2-0 now the count. Gores, right-hander to the left-hander, gets a high swing and a miss. 2-1 now the count.
That's something you see Max Hartman do a lot. Sometimes he gets a little outside of himself, kind of swings and misses these heavy hacks, hack and a half, as I like to call it. But still, Max Hartman, a phenomenal batter for the Cougs. He's kind of a sneaky hero every single game.
Garrett Gores delivers. It's chopped, gets over the mound, but it's picked up by Ricky Sanchez. Tries to get it onto first base. It's in time. Eisenstadt collects it, and it's going to be a 6-3 ground ball and 1 out in the inning.
And you saw Max Hartman immediately after that. It was a bang-bang play, very, very close. Immediately tapped the sides of his helmet saying, hey, we need to challenge that, because from Hartman's point of view, he thought he got in there safely, thought that he touched the green safety bag just in time, was able to beat out that throw from Sanchez. And to be perfectly honest with you, I kind of agree with him. They're going to bring the officiating crew here. I'm not sure if Wazoo has officially made a challenge, and they have. The play will be under review. So this comes back in favor of Washington State. That's a good challenge for Max Hartman to get himself on base. They are challenging, of course, the call by Michael Goebel, the first base umpire today in this matchup.
I mean, Ricky Sanchez made a good play getting to the ball. Another chopper that he had a hard time collecting went wide of Eisenstadt, but he is so tall, and he used his length to bring in the catch. But Hartman, he has a lot of speed. He definitely is confident that he got there in time. And we do have a couple of cameras here in the press box, but it is going to be hard to tell whether or not he was safe at first. The umpires will take it to decision. We're going to go to break, though. You're listening to KUGR Radio, the student voice for Cougar Baseball.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
We're back here in Spokane, Washington. Coach Steve Hertzfield, Patterson Baseball Complex. The play at first base stands as called. Not enough evidence to overturn it. It was really a bang-bang play. Hartman really thought he was there, but after multiple angles and reviews, it was not enough to overturn it. And now Garrett Gore's ready to pitch to Ollie Obenauer. The pitch goes inside, 1-0 count, 1 out in the top of the third. Cougars already have 2 runs this inning from a Matt Priest moonshot over the left wall. 1-0 count to Obenauer. Obenauer earlier in the game got walked on 4 pitches, takes another ball high and inside. 2-0 goes the count. Obenauer, very disciplined player. Doesn't have the most amazing batting stats, but he's doing a good job today just standing in there. Gores delivers, and it's a hard swing and a miss from Obenauer. Took a massive swing at it, just not make any contact. A lot of wind from the bat. 2-1 now the count. 2-run lead for Gonzaga still. Gores pitch goes inside once again. 3-1 advantage for Obenauer.
And it's the second time that Obenauer's worked himself into a pretty good count. He was 3-0, and then, of course, drew that walk, and now he's got a 3-1 count. Let's see, maybe he doesn't get a base hit here.
Gores winds and delivers. It's low and in the dirt. It's going to be another walk. That one only 5 pitches this time, 1 more than his previous at bat, but a great job getting on base once again from the designated hitter.
And clearly he must be seeing the ball really well today. 4-pitch walk back in the second, 5-pitch walk here in the third. And now it's Dustin Robinson up to bat. Now, last time we were in this situation, of course, Dustin Robinson struck out. But let's see if he doesn't turn things around here, maybe mimic Matt Priest, but this time to right field.
Gores, the right-hander. Robinson, the left-handed batter's box. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Looking like deja vu once again. 0-1 now the count. Obenauer was the first run of the game for Washington State in the top of the second. Now in the top of the third, they're going to try to bring in once again. Robinson now a sub-200 batting average, but looking to change it. 0-1 delivery. Catches the outside of the zone. 0-2 now to Robinson. Great advantage for Gores.
And it's a tough situation now for Robinson. You struck out last time. You can't afford to strike out here. This is where the mental toughness comes in. Can you continue to battle and not get just down on yourself?
Seems like there is some movement in the Gonzaga bullpen, but the 0-2 delivery from Gores goes outside low. Had to be corralled by Robleski. No movement off of first base from Obenauer. 1-2 now the count.
It's a good spot here. Dustin Robinson has an opportunity to move Obenauer around. You just got to really bear down here and compete with 2 strikes. That's something that head coach Choate loves, that people who can compete with 2 strikes.
Gores, the right-hander, quickly checks first. Now with the delivery, just misses the outside of the zone. 2-2 now the count. Gores wanted that to be a looking strikeout. Robinson lets it go by, and now it is evened up 2-2. 1 out in the top of the third. 5-3 lead for the Gonzaga Bulldogs here in Spokane, Washington. Gores pickoff attempt at first base. Didn't have much power on it, but just resets the pitch clock, slows it down. High pressure situation now for Gonzaga. They were up 4-0 at the bottom of the first. They felt like they had this game all in their bag, but now after 3 runs from Washington State, the pressure is built. Gores 2-2 delivery. High, catches the zone though, and Robinson goes down looking. 2 straight strikeouts for the right fielder, and Gores has 2 outs in the top of the third.
That's a rough one for Dustin Robinson. Swinging strikeout in the second, looking strikeout in the third, and now you got to lean on Dane Chavez here, the freshman, to try and get something done. Obenauer, the sophomore, at first base. It's 5-3 Gonzaga leading. You need to do something to not let this opportunity slip you by.
Dane Chavez, not known as much for a power guy, but could make some heroic moves. Gores delivery catches the zone. 0-1 now the count. 2 outs, top of the third. Obenauer still on first base. Not a lot of movement. Doesn't have any steal attempts so far this year. Right-hander delivers. Too high, goes 1-1. to Chavez. Chavez just above 200 in his batting average, but he does also get on base through walks, has a lot of walks on the team, has about a 400 on base percentage, another pickoff attempt on first base. Obenauer gets back. But Chavez, he's a guy that just has patient at bats. It's the Nathan Choate system. You take smart at bats, long at bats, and you find ways to get on base, whether it's hit by pitches, walks, or some hits, not necessarily deep in the outfield, but just gets past the infield. 1-1 delivery, fouled back, hits the net. No net. That could have gone at my car. Not going to lie.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact that Dane Chavez, a really good batter so far this year for the Cougs. His best performance came against Texas State, where he had a 5-hit, 3 RBI performance. But then, ever since then, it hasn't been necessarily great. Batting 190, but you could turn it around right here with one swing of the bats.
Score 1-2. Delivery to Chavez. Goes up the middle. Once again, Ricky Sanchez connects with it. Throws low and picked off the ground by Eisenstadt. Great job making the catch. And that'll do it for the top of the third. Washington State scores 2 runs, leaves 1 runner on base. And that'll do it. We're going to go to the bottom of the third. Gonzaga looking to add to their lead. It's 5-3 here in Spokane, Washington.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
We're back here in the bottom of the third in a matchup between the Gonzaga Bulldogs and the Washington State Cougars, the inland rivalry in Eastern Washington. The Bulldogs have the advantage by 2 runs in the bottom of the third. They're ready to add more to their offense. They had 4 runs in the bottom of the first, started the game so strong, got another one in the bottom of the second, but Washington State fighting back a little bit with 1 in the second and 2 runs off of a moonshot from Matt Priest. And now Tommy Eisenstadt ready to take a pitch from the new pitcher on the mound, Trevor Stowe. First delivery goes foul, goes left behind the backstop. 0-1 now the count to Eisenstadt.
I really love that Eisenstadt's rocking the no batting gloves. I mean, I think I mentioned it earlier in the game that's just about as gritty as it gets in Division I college baseball.
0-1 delivery, catches the zone, or actually it was a swing and a miss. A great breaking ball onto the outside. Eisenstadt looking a little silly right there. Now down 0-2, 0 outs in the bottom of the third. Gonzaga 5-3 lead. Trevor Stowe, low foot stance, delivers. It's going to be grounded quickly to Shawnsby. Shawnsby tosses to Stowe, gets to the bag, and he's got himself the first out of the bottom of the third.
Young baseball players, if you're watching this game, or in this case, listening to it, if you're listening to this game, I got to tell you, that's exactly how you handle that situation right there. A ground ball over to the first baseman, a bit out of his reach to get to the bag. So Trevor Stowe does what any good pitcher does, gets over, gets to the line, runs up, gets to first base, make the play, get the out, help out your infield, and now there's 1 out in the bottom of the third.
Maddox Haley now up to bat, the right-hander watches the first pitch from Stowe go inside. 1-0 now the count.
I should say that Trevor Stowe, the ERA so far this year has not been that great, 7.88, and he's only made 8 appearances, none of which have been starts. So a bit of a rough beginning to the year to Stowe.
The 1-0 delivery, that one looks rough as well, goes well behind Giguere, and Giguere just has to watch it go past him. 2-0 now the count. It was low and in the dirt. Couldn't really make the catch, so he's got to need a little bit more competitive of a pitch. The next one, 2-0 delivery, swung on, belted to deep left center field, going back, and it's gone! Maddox Haley rips one over the left center field wall, and Gonzaga adds another run in the bottom of the third. A great moonshot to match Matt Priest, and it's now a 6-3 ball game.
Holy smokes. Maddox Healy just continue to stay hot, have a day, had an RBI double in the first inning, and now he drives in a solo shot right there. I mean, he is just showing why he's one of the best hitters on this team. And I mean, he put your team in a great spot. 6-3 now in the bottom of the third inning. It's just the runs just keep coming for the Bulldogs.
Stowe now delivers to Ricky Sanchez, and Sanchez watches one go past him for a strike. 0-1 goes the count. 6-3 lead for Gonzaga. Just when Washington State gets a home run, Gonzaga matches it with power of their own. The 0-1 delivery, Ricky Sanchez grounds it to Gavin Roy. Gavin Roy delivers a fast one to Shonsby, and it's going to go in time. 2 outs now in the bottom of the third. Great defensive play from Roy.
And that was a bit of a tough play for Gavin Roy. Actually, you wouldn't think it would be. Kind of chopped into that hole between third and short. Gavin Roy showing he's got the speed and the range to get over. Dropped down to a knee to keep it in front of him like he was proposing. And then from that spot, was able to somehow get up and fire across first in time to get the out. That's why he's such a great defender.
Hudson Shoup now stands in. Watches one go outside. 1-0 the count. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Gonzaga has scored a run now in each of their innings, and that's why they have a 3-run advantage. Trevor Stowe delivers, catches the top of it, the zone. 1-1 goes the count. 2 outs. Gonzaga wanting to apply even more pressure. They've shown a lot of pop today. Now 7 hits in the ballgame, just in the bottom of the third. Trevor Stowe delivers, misses the zone. 2-1 goes the count.
Hudson Shoup's a guy who can be very dangerous. You got him in a good spot here. 2 outs, nobody on. It's a low danger opportunity for the Cougs. But last year he batted 329 and had an OPS of 784. He's a deadly bat.
The 2-1 goes foul to the left side. See a kid near the fence line. They're chasing after him. Multiple kids now wanting to get the foul ball. 2-2 goes the count. 2 outs now. Multiple people are running into the parking lot to catch that foul ball. Trevor Stowe shakes off Giguere's pitch. 2-2 delivery now in. It's going to be a deep fly ball to left field, trying to track his Matt Priest, and he does, and that'll be the 3rd out of the bottom of the third. Gonzaga adds to their lead, 6-3 now from the solo shot from Maddox Haley. And with that, we're going to go to the top of the 4th. Washington State needs to fight back once again. We're here in Spokane, Washington. This is KUGR Baseball, the student voice of Cougar Baseball.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
We're moving into the top of the fourth inning. Washington State looking to bounce back after a solo shot from Maddox Haley in the bottom of the third. A new pitcher is going to be on the mound for Gonzaga. It is going to be number 41, Frank Willis, who is making his fourth appearance of the season, has a 9 ERA each time he makes an appearance. It seems like he gives up at least one run. He's going to need the control today, though, to stop the offense from Washington State as they have fought back. They scored 2 runs in the last inning, 1 run before that. And, I mean, at this rate, technically, mathematically, they're going to score 3 if it's counting in good order.
If everything stays the same, yes, you're right. They should be able to keep putting on more and more runs. But this is something you're going to see with college baseball like this. The fact that on days like this, a non-conference game, a one-off game, not a series, you're going to see a lot of bullpen work. A lot of guys who don't necessarily get into play all that much. Like we mentioned, Frank Willis has only made 3 appearances so far this year, none of which have been starts. He's got a 9 ERA, which isn't crazy to see in college baseball, but you're going up against Ryan Shonsby, the first guy you're facing. But lucky for you, it's a lefty pitcher on a lefty batter. So a good start here for Willis if you can get Ryan Shonsby out.
Willis, a tall frame, delivers, just goes outside, 1-0 to Ryan Shonsby.
Now, you can tell a lot about an outing about that first pitch, and the first pitch from Willis is a ball. So if you're Ryan Shonsby, you're maybe a little bit excited here to get something to hit.
Just in his 3 appearances, has 6 walks. The second delivery goes well outside, goes almost into the right-handed batter's box, and 2-0 goes the count to Shonsby. Willis, a 6'4" left-handed pitcher, has a lot of size coming in from Denver, Colorado. Another delivery goes outside once again to Shonsby, 3-0. The control just not really seeming to be there for Willis.
Not a good start against the senior from Long Beach. You got to battle back here on a 3-0 pitch, but Ryan Shonsby could make you pay here.
Willis, 3-0, goes outside again. 4 very similar pitches, and Shonsby is on very easily after 4 pitches.
And that's just a lack of focus type of walk. Your first batter you face, you get behind, and then you get into a 3-0 count, and he knows Ryan Shonsby's a power hitter. If you give him something over the plate, he can mash it. So you're kind of scared to put it in the zone, so you end up just throwing that ball away, and now it's a leadoff walk, and now you got Dane Chavez up. Alexander Giger.
Giger is up to bat. The ball goes inside, catches the zone finally for Willis. 0-1 count to Giger. And Giger had the double RBI in the top of the second to start the scoring for Washington State. And that ball goes outside. That time almost gets past Wróblewski, and Wróblewski makes a great job jumping for the ball, stopping it from getting past him, in an easy movement from Shonsby. But 1-1 goes the count, 0 outs in the top of the fourth. Gonzaga leads 6-3. Pitch goes inside, almost clips Giger, and it was a little wild as well. Goes into the dirt, and they're going to have to do a mound visit with him to make sure he's doing all right.
And it looks like the home plate umpire, Tyler Schmidt, is saying that did not hit Giger on the foot. And Nathan Choate's coming out to talk to him here. Like you said, the head coach for Gonzaga coming out to slow things down here with Willius on the mound. But Alexander Giger was arguing his case immediately afterwards, saying, hey, that definitely hit me on the foot. And it looks like they might be challenging this, because if they can get Giger and Shonsby on base, then right after him, you got Kyler Northrup, who could potentially drive him in. So for the Cougs, you got to take everything you can possibly get, fight for every single advantage that you can get.
And that pitch was very much inside and low, definitely in the area of Giger's foot. But the home plate umpire, Tyler Schmidt, once again, did not call it a hit by pitch, just called it a ball. 2-1 right now is the count. Shonsby still on first base. 0 outs so far this inning, and the control really is not there for Willis, and I think that's maybe been his problem for the rest of the season as well. And Washington State is going to challenge the call to see if that hit Giger, and Giger looks pretty confident that hit them. So this review could be pretty quick depending on it, but with them going to the challenge break, we're going to go to break as well. You're listening to KUGR Radio, the student voice of Cougar Baseball.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Back here in Spokane, Washington, Patterson Baseball Complex, there was a challenge on the field for Washington State. Alexander Giguere, very confident that he got hit in the foot, but head umpire in Michael Goebel made the call that it was stand, and I feel like there just wasn't enough evidence and clear reviewing that he got hit. 2-1 still the count to Giguere, and he watches another one go low and inside, almost clipping him again. 3-1 now the count. Interesting to see that the call was not changed. Giguere was very confident he got hit, but 3-1 count to him. Shawnsby still on first base, 0 outs in the top of the 4th inning, and another ball inside. Giguere's going to get a free base no matter what.
Yeah, I was going to say, he should be happy. I mean, no matter what, he still got what he wanted, still gets the walk, still gets that free pass on the first base. So now you got Giguere on first, Shawnsby on second, Northrup at the plate. No outs in the top of the 4th. It's 6-3, Gonzaga leading, and Willius just really getting himself into a jam of his own making early on.
Yeah, Frank Willius, maybe the timeout could have helped him hone in his pitches, but all of them just seem to be going into the right-hander's batter's box. Really not under control right now. Willis's 0-0 pitch to Kyler Northrup does finally catch the inside of the plate. 0-1 goes the count, 0 outs. Gonzaga still leading 6-3 in the top of the 4th inning. Washington State 2 runners on base with a runner in scoring position in Shawnsby. 0-1 count does not catch the zone. 1-1 goes the count to Northrup.
And Williams just trying to see what works. Went to the breaking ball there, didn't get it into the zone. So he's got to find some way to compete against Northrup, because Northrup's a guy with runners on. He can get something done.
Williams checks second. 1-1 pitch does catch the inside of the plate. 1-2 advantage to Williams, finally catching the zone, getting some strikes, and Northrup now down in the count. A right-hander against, or not right-hander Northrup against the left-hander Williams. Williams' delivery almost gets past Robleski for the second time, but another good job jumping outside the box. Make the grab. 2-2 goes the count. A wild pitch avoided from some great job behind the plate.
Yeah, I feel bad for Robleski, really having to work to keep things contained here for Williams, who's putting him in a bit of a tough spot.
Williams checks second. A swing and a miss from Northrup, and it's going to be a strikeout. Some heat down the middle. Northrup couldn't catch up to it, and a great job hanging in there from Williams. He has the first out of the inning in the top of the 4th.
That's just some poor execution there from Kyler Northrup. You have a guy who's conceded back-to-back walks, and then he punches you out on a swinging strikeout. This is the moment where you smell blood in the water and you take advantage, and Kyler Northrup just kind of went down with a whimper.
There's more movement in the Gonzaga bullpen. Williams checks second once again. It's a delivery to Gavin Roy. Fouled to the right side. 0-1. I might have heard some glass. I'm not sure if you heard that as well. Might have been stadium noise, but either way,
we'll never know.
We'll never know. Maybe there's a window broken. We won't know. It's an 0-1 count to Gavin Roy. 1 out in top of the 4th. The delivery. A breaking ball clips the zone. 0-2 going against Gavin Roy. And a great job from Williams right now, seeming like he's bouncing back from the 2 straight walks. Shawnsby on second. Giguere on first. Williams' delivery. It's grounded straight back to him. No double play opportunity, but he's going to quickly pick it up and deliver it to first base. Eisenstadt didn't have to move a muscle. 2 outs now after the 1-3 ground out from Gavin Roy, but the runners do move up and advance. Shawnsby now on third and Giguere on second. Now Matt Priest up to bat, the home run kid who had the home run in the top of the 3rd. He would tie the ball game up if he did it again. The first delivery to Priest does not catch the zone. 1-0 goes the count. 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Washington State, 1 run could tie it up. They're down 3. Gonzaga with 6 runs. The 1-0 delivery almost clips Priest. Another uncontrolled pitch, and it is 2-0. Goes the count. Umpire calls timeout just for a second, but they're getting ready to go again. Williams' delivery, swing and a miss from Matt Priest. He has some major heat from the left-handed pitcher, and Priest and Northrup unable to catch up to it right there.
And if you're Priest, you can't be thinking about the home run too much. You got to stay simple in your approach.
2-1 goes the count. Another swing and a miss. 2-2 goes the count. And Williams right now showing some confidence, sending some straight heat to Matt Priest.
And again, you can tell he's just trying to mimic that home run he had earlier in the ball game. And right now, you just need a base hit to the gap to bring home 2.
2 outs, 2 runners on base, and running scoring position. Does a check swing on a low ball. He does not go. The appeal to the first base umpire, Michael Goebel, results in a ball. Full count, 2 outs, top of the 4th. Runners on 3rd and 2nd here in Gonzaga. Williams' pitch. Matt Priest rips one to left field once again, chasing back, going to the wall. It's gone! Matt Priest ties it up in the top of the 4th inning. It is 6-6. Another rip to left field. And Matt Priest gotta feel like a superhero right now, putting the Cougars single-handedly back into the game, tying it up in the 4th inning.
Matt Priest, have a night. 2 home runs, 4 runs driven in. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Actually, I'd say 5 runs driven in. It was a 2-run shot back earlier in the game in the 3rd inning, and now it's a 3-run shot in the 4th. It's just insane, and Williams just cannot believe what just happened.
Williams delivers to Max Hartman. 2 outs still in the inning, and just when he thought he was back in it, Matt Priest rips his heart out with a deep shot to left field. 1-0 count to Hartman. Hartman shows bunt, but pulls back as it goes outside once again. 2-0 now the count to the Canadian outfielder. My goodness, that was electric. Another rip. So much power from the freshman as he comes up big, but now Hartman looking to match his power. Does watch it go, though. 3-0 advantage to Hartman. Williams needs to get the control back into his hands. Could be a little rattled after that shot. The 3-0 delivery. Low and in the dirt, uncompetitive pitch, and Hartman will take first base easily.
And you're seeing the wheels just completely fall off for Williams. You saw that with the pair of walks that he conceded early in the game. They're calling a mound visit here to bring in the infield. It might be it for Williams, but you never know. Again, in this kind of game, maybe you let some of these guys go a little bit longer than they should. But I definitely, if I'm the head coach for Gonzaga, I'm wanting to pull out Williams as soon as I can after that 3-run shot and a walk to follow it up.
And Williams was doing so good. He was the D3 National Pitcher of the Week while at California Lutheran, but he cannot have the same success so far this season. And today it is over for him. It is going to be 3 runs given up for Williams, and a lot of them just straight due to the uncontrolled pitches, the walks, and a deep shot from Matt Priest back-to-back innings. We're going to go to break, though, while the new pitcher warms up. Find out who it is at the end of the break. You're listening to KUGR Radio, the student voice of the Palouse.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
In what has been an electric game so far, we're still in the top of the fourth inning. Washington State just tied it up with a bomb from Matt Priest, and a walk from Max Hartman brought the attention to the mound for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They're bringing in a new reliever, the right-hander Mickey McClasker, and he's going to not deliver a first pitch to Ollie Obenauer. He's going to check first base. Max Hartman gets back in time. 2 outs in the top of the fourth. 6-6 ball game. It has been an electric night here in Spokane, Washington. And now Mickey McClaster, the right-hander, checks the lights. Now delivers to Obenauer, almost catches him on the head. A little bit of miscontrol from him as well. 1-0 goes the count.
And McClaskey has only made 4 appearances so far this year. This is his 5th. And in that time, he's got a 5.87 ERA. So not the greatest ERA. So this could be a guy that the Cougs could really tee up.
McClaskey winds and delivers inside ball. 2-0 goes the count to Obenauer. And just in the first inning, we thought this could have been a blowout. 6 pitches, 3 outs, up and down, and then 4 runs scored from Gonzaga in the bottom of the inning. All of a sudden, it's a tie ball game in the top of the fourth. The 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss from Obenauer. A great pitch from McClaskey, staying in there. 2-1 count, 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Max Hartman on first base does have some speed, but he might not want to push it with the type of momentum the Cougars have right now. McClaskey tries to do a pickoff on Hartman, gets back safely. Still a 2-1 count to Ollie Obenauer.
Now you can see Hartman had some aspirations of second base there. Looked like he was leaning a little towards second. McClaskey tried to catch him sleeping, but good head on the shoulder of Hartman to get back in time.
Hartman is one of the players that can steal bases. He's 8 of 9 on the season. The 2-1 pitch catches the zone. Now even at 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. So we said in the beginning of the inning, it was going to be 1-2. And then if they wanted to match the flow, it would be 1-2-3. The Cougars did match it. But looking at more, Hartman goes, but it's a swing and a miss from Obenauer, and that'll do it for the inning. Mickey McClaskey gets out of it with a strikeout on Obenauer. It is a 6-6 ball game. Washington State ties it up with another Matt Priest homer, and that'll take us to the bottom of the fourth inning. Gonzaga looking to get the offense going once again. You're listening to KUGR Radio here in Spokane, Washington.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Back here in Patterson Baseball Complex, Coach Steve Hertzfield is the place where Washington State has taken on the Gonzaga Bulldogs, and they were getting punched quickly in the mouth early in this game, down 4-0 by the top of the second, but they fought their way back, tying it up in the top of the fourth inning. We're now in the bottom of the fourth. A new pitcher on the mound for Washington State, Ryan Falk, looking to deliver to the catcher, Jacob Robleski of Gonzaga. Robleski made some good plays behind the plate to avoid some wild pitches. He's looking to deliver now on the offensive side of the ball, and Falk's first pitch goes way outside. 1-0 goes the count to the catcher.
And Jacob Robleski had a double back in the second, came around to score, so he's one of the 6 runs that Gonzaga has put on the board thus far. And like we mentioned, Ryan Falk coming in for Washington State. He's a freshman, so this is his first year at the D1 level. He's out of Colorado, and looks like he's having an issue with the pitch comm here.
Pitch comm issues can be a new problem for the new era of baseball, but looks like Falk might have gotten it fixed. Choke quickly went out there, getting the cap back on. 1-0 still the count to Rubleski. And it has fallen into nighttime. The lights of the city are lighting up around us just past the outfield here in Spokane, Washington. Getting a little bit chillier as well. I didn't bring a polo or didn't bring anything warmer than a polo, so got to stay warm. 1-0 delivery to Rubleski. Goes foul to the right side. 1-1 count. Ryan Falk gets it in the zone there. First pitch was a little wild, but good job pulling it back in there. 0 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning. 6-6 ball game. Gonzaga looking to take the lead once again. Ryan Falk's high wind and delivery does not catch the zone. 2-1 goes the count. Ryan Falk takes a big deep breath. The 2-1 delivery fouled in off the hands, goes straight back. 2-2 goes the count to the catcher.
And Ryan Falk, he is such a great addition to this Cougar roster. And we mentioned freshman, so this is his first year with the Cougs, but he's not new to college reps. Last summer, he was playing in the WCL with Cowlitz, so he's gotten a few reps at least at some kind of college baseball level.
Falk's 2-2. Ripped hard. A diving play from Roy. Unable to get it. It goes to the outfield. Rubleski gets himself a base knock. A ground ball shoots through to center field, and Hartman delivers it quickly to avoid any advancement, but a great job turning a fastball on the outside into the outfield from Rubleski, and it's going to be a leadoff single for Gonzaga.
And now Rubleski's 2 for 2 on the night. Like I mentioned, he had a double back in the second. Now he's got a single. So a triple and a home run, he'd have the cycle.
I'm going to quote my MLB The Show knowledge on this. We're really already starting with that one. Not a lot of speed from Rubleski, but he does have some pop in the small sample size he has. 1-0 goes the count to Bo Schinkel at the beginning of the order once again. Schinkel had a double to start the game, the first run for Gonzaga, but then had a 3-3 ground out. 1-0 delivery goes low. 2-0 count now. Ryan Falk has got to bounce back from the tough play that got through to center field and wasn't necessarily the strongest of the grounders, and it's just the location of where it was, and Roy couldn't get there in time. Ryan Falk checks first. The 2-0 delivery catches the inside of the plate. 2-1 now goes the count. And Bo Schinkel, he's had a decent season so far as well. He has 7 RBIs on the season, 19 hits. Not many outfield plays, only 2 doubles, no triples or home runs. A pickoff attempt almost catches Rubleski on first base, but still going to be a 2-1 count, 0 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning. 6-6 is the score of the ball game. Washington State coming back from down as much as 4. Ryan Falk, wind and delivers. A big swing and a miss from Schinkel, and 2-2 is now the count. Ryan Falk looking to maybe get another strikeout for Washington State. It's been a very contact-heavy game for both sides. 2-2 delivery, and off the hands, fouled straight back behind home plate. Gonna redo the 2-2.
And that's a great pitch there from Ryan Falk. I really like it. Rung it up high and tight on the hands. Saw, when you had a wood bat, you'd say he sawed him off, but just kind of jammed him there on the hands. And it's a pitch he kind of has to go after. He's got a 2-strike count. You need to battle and stay alive.
Ryan Falk, wind and delivers. Fouled back once again. A hard foul ball that time, just late on it. 2-2, 0 outs. Runner still on first in Rubleski. Not a lot of movement from him as well. Ryan Falk has a 3.6 ERA in 5 innings pitched on the year. Falk's wind and delivers. outside. It's going to lead it to a full count to Bo Schenkel. The center fielder looking to get more runs for Gonzaga as they kind of took a punch in the mouth of their own the past 2 innings from the courtesy of Matt Priest. Ryan Falk sets, delivers. It's going to be a high fly ball to right field. Very high, hard to track, but Dustin Robinson makes the catch and gonna feed it into Dane Chavez. 1 out now in the bottom of the 4th.
That was about a mile-high fly ball into right field for Dustin Robinson to come in and make that catch. And that's one of those ones that if it gets above the lights, it can be a little bit hard to see. And especially, we'd say big league pop-ups is the term we like to say, big league flyouts. When they get high up there and the wind starts to, make it dance around a little bit, it gets above the lights, that's a really hard play to make. So props to Dustin Robinson for being able to still make that catch.
Ryan Falk ready to deliver as the right-hander to Noah Meffert, but he's actually going to take a second, do a pickoff attempt back on first base onto Robleski. And that is just something you see a lot in these college games. All the pickoff attempts you mentioned earlier, no box possible from too many attempts. And they take advantage of it with the pitch clock, settle down the game, settle themselves down. Ryan Falk, 0-0 delivery to Meffert. It's going to be an almost fake steal attempt. The pitch was inside 1-0, and Giguere almost picked off Robleski on first base. Took a lot of movement, but Giguere did a good job making him get back to first base. 1-0 the count, 1 out. Robleski still on first. Ryan Falk's delivery just clips the top of the zone. 1-1 goes the count.
I'm liking that back pick attempt there from Alexandre Giguere, just really trying to keep Robleski tied to first base. Do not let Gonzaga steal bags on you. Don't let them play station-to-station baseball. Really try and keep them tied down so they can't take back the lead.
No Meffert, one of the players that strikes out a lot for Gonzaga. Pickoff attempt once again on Robleski. Gets back safely. That one was a little bit closer than a couple other times, but looking over at Noah Meffert, he struck out 28 times for Gonzaga, leads the team by about 12, a very big differential, and he's got to be a little more honed in his plate appearance right now. Falk's delivery goes low in the dirt. Giguere does a good job blocking it. No advancement from Robleski. 2-1 goes the count.
And Ryan Falk really trying to battle here. You got 1 out, 1 runner on, tie ball game, and you need Ryan Falk to kind of show flashes of what he was in his senior year. Had a 2.7 ERA with Cherry Creek High School in Colorado. You need to continue to do that into the college stage.
Falk, another pickoff attempt on Robleski, unsuccessful. 2-1, still the count. And multiple pickoff attempts does slow the game down. Really makes you think about how much goes into each pitching effort. Each pitch matters. One bad move can lose you a ball game. Falk's wind and delivers. Swing and a miss on the inside. 2-2 goes the count to Noah Meffert.
I'm really loving the competitiveness you're seeing from Ryan Falk in these at-bats. He's refusing to let anyone kind of slip away from him. Minus the Robleski single, he's really been able to kind of battle back when he's gotten down. He's found a way to kind of get himself out of the hole and just, put the shovel down.
Falk checks first base, delivers. It's going to be a ground ball. Gavin Roy to second. Now to first. Not in time. It's not a successful double play, but 6-5 ground out. It's going to be a fielder's choice, and Meffert will reach, but Robleski's out at second base, cut off, and now 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still 6-6 tie game.
And right now for Gonzaga, this is the guy you want up with 2 outs and a runner on. Mikey Bell, who leads the team for average with 304 batting average and 997 OPS, 4 home runs. This is a guy who can really just smack one out of the yard.
Another pickoff attempt. This time it's going against Meffert. Robleski might be glad he doesn't have to dive back at first as many times, but 2 outs, 0-0 count. Mikey Bell standing in from the right batter's box, righty on righty matchup. Ryan Falk winds and delivers just outside. 1-0 goes the count. I confused Mikey Bell with Mickey McClaskey, the pitcher for Gonzaga. Mickey, maybe both of them could make a good impact for the Bulldogs as they really need one right now. Gonzaga 9 hits with 6 runs compared to Washington State's 5 hits to their 6 runs. Delivery goes high. 2-0 goes the count. Mikey Bell earlier in the game had a hit by pitch, was the third run for Gonzaga, and then following the next inning with a single of his own. So he has been successful to start this game. Ryan Falks winds and delivers. Swing and a miss off of Mikey Bell. Might have been clipped. Either way, it's going to be a strike. 2-1 goes the count. 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth.
You see you're getting Mikey and Mickey confused. The real question is, are they so fine they blow your mind?
That is a great question. And, I mean, the play has to show if they are so fine. Ryan Falks delivery. It's a steal attempt, and no one was guarding the bag. An unexpected stolen base from Noah Meffert. A great job catching Jiguer sleeping, and he is now 5 of 6 on the season. A great job from the right fielder getting a stolen base.
And that's something you need right here in a 2-out situation. 3-1 count now for Mikey Bell. He's going to get something to hit here. He could hit to the deep part of the yard and bring you home to score.
3-1 count. Swing and a miss on Mikey Bell. Count goes full, and Mikey Bell needs to make contact with the ball and send it into the outfield. It could bring in the leading run for Gonzaga. A walk would help as well. Ryan Falk agrees to a pitch. Check second. Wind and delivers. Goes outside, and Mikey Bell takes the walk. A great competitive at bat, and it's going to bring up Ryder Young, the left fielder.
I will say that's the first walk that Ryan Falk has conceded so far in this early outing. He's gone 2/3 of an inning so far. He came in at the beginning of this inning, and he really needs to work himself out of a jam here. He's given up no runs, but now you got runners on second and first. You got on second base, Meffert, and then you got on first base now Mikey Bell and Ryder Young, who's tied for first place for home runs on the Zags.
He's also leading the Zags in RBIs with 19. Swings, and it just fouls it down the left field line. 0-1 goes the count. It was a very weak one, just kind of put the bat to the ball a little early and not a lot of power. It's a good thing that that went foul. Otherwise, that could have been an easy out. 0-1 count to Ryder Young. Falk checks second. Delivers. Goes low. Jiguer collects it. Stops any advancement. And 1-1 goes the count. 2 outs. Bottom of the fourth. Gonzaga looking to take the lead once again after Washington State tied it up in the top of the inning with a 3-run shot. Falk checks second once again. Another pitch. Catches Ryder Young on the hand in a lot of pain. Hopefully he's all right, but he will take a base, and Ryan Falk has loaded the bases in the bottom of the fourth.
This is a real tough spot for Ryan Falk, the freshman from Colorado. The bases are juiced. You got Tommy Eisenstadt coming to the plate. So far in this game, he's cold. Eisenstadt's 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the first, grounded out to first base in the third. And now you got Nathan Choate coming out to the mound to talk to Ryan Falk. The question is, do you take out the freshman, go to somebody else in the bullpen, or do you let the freshman maybe show what he's got, maybe let him bare his teeth a little bit? So that's the question. What do you do if you're head coach Nathan Choate? How do you handle this type of situation?
It is such a tough decision to make, especially after the offense has gotten themselves back into the game after being down deeply so early. They came back, and every run now matters in a close game like this. There's still so much time left to go as well. You cannot be giving up any major runs in situations like this. 2 outs in the inning. Bases are loaded. Ryan Falk in a big pressure situation against the first baseman, Tommy Eisenstadt. The right-hander to the left-hander. First pitch catches the zone. 0-1 goes the count. Good pitch. Breaking ball clips the zone, and Eisenstadt did nothing but watch it. Ryan Falk takes a deep breath. The wind and the deliver. Almost clips it on the inside, but it just falls into the mitt of Jiguer. 1-1 goes the count. Wind looks like it's also picking up a little bit in the outfield. Each flag blowing with a lot of breeze right now, so maybe a fly ball could make some difficulty for the outfielder. Eisenstadt puts one high in the air, but it goes foul towards the left side. 1-2 goes the count. Advantage to Falk.
It's a real tough spot for Eisenstadt. This is where your heart is beating. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a 6-6 ball game. A good hit here puts you on top and gets you back in this ball game.
thing you dream about as a kid. The 1-2 delivery. Ryan Falk gets it up the middle, goes towards the outfield. One runner scores. The runner from third scores as well. 2-run, 2 RBI single for Tommy Eisenstadt. Gonzaga has taken the lead once again in the bottom of the 4th.
That is brutal for Ryan Falk in a situation where you can kind of maybe win yourself a starting spot, maybe impress head coach Choate, and you choke. You give up a ground ball up the middle into center field, brings home 2 runs, 8-6. Gonzaga leading in the bottom of the 4th, and it looks like the Cougs are going to head to the bullpen now. So Ryan Falk's day is done. He only goes 2/3 of an inning, and unfortunately gives up 2 runs on only 2 hits here in the bottom of the 4th. So definitely not the greatest outing from Ryan Falk. He showed some flashes of being competitive and being able to battle back, but then you give up that RBI single to Tommy Eisenstadt, and this game is right back in favor of Gonzaga.
It is back in favor, and with the 2-run lead, Gonzaga still has potential to score more. A runner on third and first base. They're going to have to go up against a new arm from the pen for Washington State, though. He's going to warm up, and while he does, we're going to go to break. Don't go anywhere, though. You're listening to KUGR Radio, the student voice of the Palouse.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
2 runs scored for the Gonzaga Bulldogs here in Spokane, Washington. We're here at Patterson Baseball Complex. It is a competitive and offensive ball game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Gonzaga has a 2-run lead, 8-6 over the Washington State Cougars. Ryan Falk's day was done after the 2-run single, and in comes Eric Rodriguez from the bullpen for Washington State. The right-hander looks to go up against Maddox Haley, and the first pitch does not catch the zone. 1-0 goes the count to Haley, who earlier in the game had a home run and a double. A lot of great hits from him, and another one would drive in some more runs for Gonzaga. The 1-0 delivery from Rodriguez goes outside. 2-0. Now the count, 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Gonzaga once again had a bases loaded opportunity, and the single shot to center field brought in 2 runs to give them a 2-run lead. Haley sends one deep to right field. Looks like it's gonna trail foul, and it does, into the Gonzaga bullpen from what it appears, and it is a 2-1 count now.
And you mentioned it, Max Haley, 2 for 2 tonight, had an RBI double in the first, had a solo shot in the third, so he's accounted for 2 of the 8 runs that Gonzaga has put up so far in this game. They lead at 8-6 over Washington State, bottom of the 4th, and right now they're not content. They're trying to continue this 2-out production here, built midway through this game.
2-1. Rodriguez, high pitch, then delivery. It's going to be ripped to right field. Robinson dives and does not catch it. It was in his mitt, but it goes out, and it's going to be a 2-run double for Maddox Haley. Does the Aaron Rodgers belt check, and it's going to be another 2 runs for Gonzaga. 4-run lead, 10-6 in the bottom of the 4th. The runs just keep coming.
That is brutal for Dustin Robinson, the redshirt sophomore in right field, the transfer from Cypress Community College. had that ball in the glove, was on the brink of glory, and it just rattled out, and now it is 10-6 Gonzaga.
And it's going to be Ricky Sanchez immediately following it. First pitch swung on and going to be grounded to Shawnsby, who hands it off to Rodriguez, gets the out, and we're done with the bottom of the fourth, but not after Gonzaga rips off 4 runs of their own. 10-6 is the lead going into the top of the 5th inning, not even halfway through done, and we got so much more baseball to come. You're listening to KUGR Radio, the student voice of the Palouse.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
What has been an almost cinematic game. So much offense from both ends, power shots, clutch hits with 2 outs. It is 10-6. Gonzaga took the lead in the bottom of the 4th with 4 runs. And here in the top of the 5th, taking over play-by-play is Smith Slye.
Thank you, Nathan. And batting for the Cougs in place of Dustin Robinson, it's Cole Watterson taking his spot. And the first pitch to him is right down the middle, taken all the way for strike 1, and Watterson gets behind early, and this counts.
And Watterson stepping in. Dustin Robinson had a really tough play to make in right field, fell down, couldn't make the snow cone catch, and maybe he got a little banged up on it as well.
Next offering to Cole Watterson, misses inside, just kind of bangs out of the glove of Rubleski, and it evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Cole Watterson, a redshirt junior out of Smithfield, Utah, played at Edmonds Community College before transferring to the Cougs. Next pitch to him, fouled right field side over the Gonzaga bullpen and into the parking lots, kind of over the facilities they have there just outside right field. And it makes it a 1 ball and 2 strike counts. Now, last year with the Cougs, Cole Watterson was the starting center field, but inevitably lost the job. As the next pitch to him is a breaking ball that can't get into the zone. It makes it a 2 ball and 2 strike counts.
Competitive at bat is what's needed right now out of Watterson. Gonzaga noticed the tie, and they wanted to break that tie pretty quickly.
2-2 pitch. Hits the top rail, taken by Watterson. It's a looking strikeout to open up the top of the 5th inning, and McClaskey gets it done on the first batter that he sees in this inning.
Washington State got punched in the mouth. They're going to need to punch back really quickly. I mean, just so many high-scoring innings from both sides. And top of the 5th, Washington State still not out of it on the way that the game's been going.
McClaskey winds. He fires the first pitch to Dane Chavez outside, ball 1. And Dane Chavez 1 for 2 so far tonight. Had a single in the top of the 2nd. Got all the way around to 3rd where he was inevitably stranded. And the 1-0 pitch to him is cut on and missed. A hack and a half from Dane Chavez. Can't get any of it. And it evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike to the freshman from Kennewick.
McClaskey has 2 strikeouts now through 2 batters. He's throwing a lot of great movement in his pitches.
The 1-1 offering misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dane Chavez. He was the number 27 ranked player in Washington State last year, was the number 6 ranked shortstop as well, but he finds himself at second base with the Cougs. Next pitch, cut on and missed again. Evens it up, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chavez. It's a 10-6 ball game. Gonzaga leading after they put up 4 runs in the last inning. Washington State needs to respond. The 2-2 pitch from McClaskey. Swung on, chopped to first base. Eisenstadt's got it at the chest. Runs over to first, calls off McClaskey. Steps on the bag. And it's a 3-3 unassisted putouts to get Chavez.
Great job from Eisenstadt staying with it, controlling where he's going. Ball had no shot of bouncing away from him and got to the bag pretty handily. Chavez with some good speed, but not good enough on a play like that. 2 outs now quickly in the top of the 5th.
McClaskey trying to sit down the Cougs in order. Here's his first pitch to Ryan Shawnsby. Sails it high and outside, contained by Rubleski, but it's 1 ball and no strikes to the senior from Long Beach, Shawnsby. And Ryan Shawnsby, very effective last year, batted .243. Here's his 1-0 offering, swung on and missed. A breaking ball that dropped off the table, and it makes it a 1 ball and one strike count to Shawnsby. Now, last year, Shawnsby had 12 multi-hit games, 4 multi-RBI games. As he takes this next pitch on the outside corner, watched it go by for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shawnsby.
McClaskey doing a great job. The batter's box is his painting area, and he is making the canvas his own.
Next pitch misses in the dirt, blocked up by Rubleski. Shawnsby took it all away, evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 5th, a 10-6 Gonzaga lead. 2-2 count. Shawnsby trying to get something going. Here's the pitch from McClaskey. Swung on, grounded to the left side. It will get into left field, out of the reach of Sanchez, who was playing the shift. Mikey Bell at third couldn't get over to make the play. So it's a 2-out single for Ryan Shawnsby into left field, and the Cougs have a 2-out base runner.
Shawnsby doing a good job just pushing it towards the left side of the field. Shortstop couldn't make the play, as you said, and just gets to the outfield. Shawnsby doing a good job getting a runner on base. Now they're going to need some 2-out production, and it could come from the freshman catcher by the nickname of Giggy.
First pitch to Gigier, swung on and missed. A slider away that he couldn't get to, and it's an 0-1 count to him.
Gigier's got some pop to his bat. He could drive one deep, and Washington State, they've been kind of thriving off of the deep shots, both by Matt Priest. Maybe Gigier can match it.
0-1 pitch, lifted high in the air to center field. Coming in, Schinkel, along with Young. Schinkel calls him off, makes the catch in left center field to retire the side. The Cougs threaten with a 2-out single from Shawnsby, but Gigier hits a high fly ball to center field to get out of the inning. The Gonzaga Bulldogs allow no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and leave 1 man on base. And now the Cougs are going to go back out to the field. Eric Rodriguez still on the mound for Washington State. Let's see if the Gonzaga Bulldogs can't extend their 10-6 lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Eric Rodriguez will stay out on the mound for Washington State, and he'll be facing Hudson Shoup to kick off the bottom of the 5th inning. Then it'll be Jacob Rubleski, and then the lineup card will flip over for Bo Schinkel. So those are the 3 guaranteed Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 5th. It's 10-6 Gonzaga leading in this non-conference one-off matchup here on March 25th, Wednesday, 2026. And we'll be interested to see if Hudson Shoup doesn't kick things off here on a positive note for Gonzaga.
I mean, with the way they're hitting, they're just getting anything they want every single inning. And with a 4 spot in the first inning and in the 4th inning, they're putting up runs in bunches. And Gonzaga's, they're just going to keep playing with their game plan, put the bat to the ball.
First pitch to Shoup, sailed high but contained by Gigier. It's ball 1 to Hudson Shoup.
A lot of aggressiveness from Gonzaga. It's paid off well from them, especially with the inexperience of a lot of these relievers for Washington State.
Next pitch to Shoop. Just misses low, almost in the dirt. Picked by Giger, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Shoop. Now, last year with the Gonzaga Bulldogs, Shoop batted .329, had a .784 OPS. Next pitch, right down Main Street, strike one. Good competitive pitch there from Eric Rodriguez to battle back into the counts.
Shoop with a couple of flyouts earlier in the game. He's going to maybe try to get a base hit or at least get on base.
The 2-1 offering almost clips him on the hands, has to jackknife away from it, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike to him, a very, very favorable count. Won't be surprised if he gets a cookie to hit here from Rodriguez. Here's a 3-1 offering. Misses low and inside, taken by Shoop. He's on base with a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 5th.
And with the walk, now every single batter for Gonzaga has reached base at some point in the game. Shoop was the last one to not make it. And now Gonzaga, they're just getting on base in bunches. Everyone's getting it, whether it's hits, walks, hit by pitches. They're getting anything they want from this pitching staff or of Washington State.
Righty on righty matchup. Rodriguez against Jacob Rubleski, who's 2 for 2 so far today. He's got a runner on first. That's Shoop. Pickoff attempt over, checking on Shoop, but he's back in. Was barely only a few steps off the bag. So an interesting pickoff attempt there from Rodriguez. Kind of no chance of getting Shoop at first. 10-6, Gonzaga leading. Bottom of the 5th. Gonzaga trying to extend that lead. Here's the first offering to Rubleski. Tees it up and lifts it into right field. Tailing foul into the Gonzaga bullpen. Bounces just in front of their turtle. And I say turtle as in the kind of batting cage thing they put over home plate when they're taking BP. You'll hear a lot of people call it the turtle because it looks like a turtle shell.
It's a good shell. Keeps everything safe, and especially if you don't want to lose as many balls if you're popping up directly behind you.
Precisely. 0-1 count to Rubleski. Runner on first. Here's the pitch. Low and inside, blocked up by Giger, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count for Rubleski.
Something to also note, in the outfield, Hartman is going to move to right field, and with Watterson replacing Robinson, he's in center.
Next pitch, inside, just misses the zone for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Rubleski. 10-6, Gonzaga leading. Shoop on first base with a leadoff walk. And leadoff walks tend to come around to score a majority of the time. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, grounded over to Gavin Roy. He fields at his eyes, flips the second. The throw to first. Did they get it? Yes, they did! 6-4-3, the Cougs. Able to wipe the bases and get 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Eric Rodriguez gets a tailor-made double play.
Now, that was an amazing job in execution. Roy does an underhand toss to Chavez, and Chavez sits in there and delivers a strike to first base to get the double play secured. And he took some contact, took a cleat to the leg. A lot of contact. Luckily, both the runner and the defender are good. No injuries on the play. A clean 6-4-3 double play, as you mentioned. Great job by Washington State.
And now Bo Schinkel's got a blank canvas here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 outs, nobody on. 10-6, Gonzaga leading. Schinkel trying to get some 2-out production. Rodriguez lifts, he fires. Low, and it kicks away from Alexandre Giger, and it's ball 1 to Bo Schinkel. Oh, lucky for Giger, no one was on base, so he's able to let that ball get past him, and no harm, no foul. 1-0 count to Schinkel. From the stretch, Rodriguez delivers. Just misses that bottom rail for ball 2, and it's a 2-0 count for Bo Schinkel. And Rodriguez pitching from the stretch even with nobody on. A lot of times guys will go from the windup with nobody on, but Rodriguez going from the stretch. His 2-0 offering sails high, but contained by Giger. Ball 3. And Giger might let Schinkel wiggle away from him. 3-0 count, needs to give him something in the zone. Here's the 3-0. Misses low and outside. A 4-pitch walk to Bo Schinkel, and it is the second walk of the inning. And yet again, Gonzaga has a runner parked on first base.
Some at bats seems like Rodriguez is going to be very competitive with especially the speed and heat he has behind his fastballs going in the zone. But now the second at bat just this inning where it's an easy walk.
brings up Noah Meffert for Gonzaga. First pitch he sees, he goes after and fouls it right field side, over the dugouts, into the parking lots, and he gets that behind on 1.
Meffert is prone to some high fastballs. He's a right-handed batter going up against the right-handed pitcher, and some high speed could get him some swing and misses. Lots of strikeouts.
Runner takes off. It's grounded to third. Northrup dives, makes the play, throw the first in time. They got him. Kyler Northrup drops down to a knee on the diving play, gets to his feet, fires to Shonsby, and he retires the side. The Cougs are able to work out of a jam and allow no runs in the bottom of the 5th. Eric Rodriguez gets it done, and now the Cougs will have the bats back in their hands for the top of the 6th. It is still 10-6. Gonzaga leading here in Spokane, but stick around to see if the Cougs can't battle back about midway through this matchup.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Well, after making an amazing play to close out the bottom of the 5th, Kylan Northrup will climb into the right-handed batter's box to kick things off in the top of the 6th inning. The Cougs down by 4 runs. Gonzaga leading 10-6. McClaskey still on the rubber for Gonzaga. And it's a righty-on-righty matchup. McClaskey from the windup. Here's the first pitch to Northrup. Swung on and lifted high into left field. Will this stay fair? No, it tails well foul and just kind of rattles around the Cougar bullpen. So it's a first pitch, high foul ball from Kyler Northrup to kick things off in the top of the 6th.
I will say that did reach the street that we came in on earlier today. So there's some traffic that almost got hit.
0-1 pitch, a breaking ball that was just a titch 2 inside, clips off the shoulder of Northrup, stands his ground, and he's up 90 feet with a hit by pitch.
Comeback start with hit by pitches. The runs and the rallies, they really start. And it's weird to say that a rally is already happening, but we're in the top of the 6th inning. Washington State's down by 4. Feels like the rally's been going on all game long with the amount of runs that keep pouring in.
And no better man to have here for the rally, Gavin Roy, as the lineup card flips over. Here's the first pitch to him. Well high for ball 1. And it's very easy for pitches like that to miss on Gavin Roy. Why? Because he's only 5'9". Bit of a smaller strike zone for the senior from Sudbury. 1-0 count to him with Kyler Northrup on first base. Here's the pitch. Hits him right on the back. Gavin Roy, a fastball that just clipped him right on the 6 on his back. And it's a pair of hit by pitches offered up by McClaskey. And now the Cougs have 2 runners on base. And they got a man at the plate, Matt Priest, who has a hot bat tonight.
Ow. That looked like it was a fastball straight to the back, almost hit the upper neck area. Great job by Roy. Most of the time when the Cougars get hit, they tough it out. They look like they didn't feel any pain at all. That one, a little bit too hard to not fake. So good job staying there by Roy.
Matt Priest lays down a bunt to the third baseline. McClaskey picks it up, fires the first base, and he throws it away well over the head of the first baseman. Northrup scores. They're waving home Gavin Roy. He's in the score. Matt Priest pumps the brakes at second base, and he's driven in 2 runs with an RBI bunt, and now it is only 10-8 in the 6th.
Now, there was a rain delay yesterday because of rain. today there's no delay, but there's a lot of rain, and it's coming in the form of runs. My goodness, it's the top of the 6th, and we have 18 combined runs. Washington State not going away, and that's chaos ball right there, but in favor of Washington State. A good bunt to move the runners up gets messed up because Mickey McClaskey just throws it over the tall first baseman Eisenstadt. Hard to do, but the error so crucial right now.
Well, now Max Hartman's going to dig himself into that lefty's batter's box. First pitch to him, thought about scoring a bunt, but pulled it back right away. Misses high and outside for ball 1. And you got to mention the fact that Matt Priest, with that RBI bunt, has now driven in 7 runs. 7 RBIs for Matt Priest. Have a night. 1-0 count to Hartman. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. The signature from Matt Hartman, a heavy hack, and getting none of it.
The way of those RBIs comes a little bit different. The first 2 smoked out to left field. That one, a little bit of a bunt up to the pitcher.
1-1 pitch is swung on and missed again. That one also on the outside corner. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count for Max Hartman, who so far is 0 for 2. Grounded out in the first, grounded out in the third, drew a walk in the fourth. Now let's see if he can't turn things around tonight. 1-2 counts. McClaskey checks the second. He lifts, he fires. Swung on and missed, but it rattled out of the glove of Wróblewski. Looks like he fouled it back into the glove of Wróblewski, and it looked like it might have clipped his throwing hand. He's shaking it around. He's definitely banged up a little bit. So Max Hartman's got another life to maybe turn things around.
Those ones definitely always look like they hurt, and hopefully he's doing all right behind the dish. But, man, my goodness, those foul tips, they seem like they're so in the moment, like nothing really happened, but that's a ball shooting at you at about 90 or to 100 miles per hour.
Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. McClaskey checks the second from the stretch. Long hold here, lifts and fires. High and outside. Good take by Max Hartman to even up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runner on second. That's Matt Priest after that RBI bunt that he had that was thrown away into right field, so he was able to get to second base. It's 10-8. Gonzaga leading by only 2 runs, but one swing of the bat could tie up this game. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Low and inside. Good take by Max Hartman. Fills it up. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the senior from Alberta. Runner in scoring position. A base knock here would put them within reach. 2-run lead for Gonzaga. McClaskey trying to shut down this Cougar offense. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and lifted high in the air, left center field. Ryder Young, the future Apple Sox, got a beat on it. He's underneath it, makes the catch, chases Matt Priest back into second base. It's the first out of the inning, conceded by Max Hartman with a F7.
And Hartman has not necessarily been the offense for Washington State today. As many runs and as much success as they've had, he's been a little quiet, only reached base 1 time from a walk. Other times it was a put out to first base and a ground out to the third baseman. That time the F7, and he's just struggling. He's going to want to bounce back before the end of this game.
Well, now it's Ollie Obenauer up to bat for Washington State. Swings the first pitch he sees. It's a slider away, and it's an 0-1 count to him. And Ollie Obenauer walked in the second, drew a walk in the third, struck out swinging in the fourth. So he's gone on base twice, come around to score once, but he's yet to get a hit. So he's technically 0 for 1. It's an 0-1 count to him. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. The same pitch, the same slider away, chase after it again, and it's an 0-2 count.
Mickey McClaskey doing a better job holding in there. He gave up so much contact, not necessarily in the way that he wanted to. It came contact to the humans, not to the bat. He's doing a great job getting swings and misses. He's just got to focus in the zone.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Third time's the charm. The third slider to get Obenauer swinging. It's his second swinging strikeout of the night. And McClaskey has got 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. He needs to shut down the Cougar offense before they can get hot.
That's his 3rd strikeout. When he's in the zone, he's doing such a good job with the movement. The Cougars are unable to catch up to it. He's only given up 1 hit, like actual hit, besides the bunt on his pitches inside the zone. So he's just got to hone in, go down the middle, and get these Cougars to swing and miss.
First pitch to Cole Watterson, lays down a bunt right in front of home plate. Wróblewski slides, throws the first. Did they get him? Yes, they did. What a play. Wróblewski ditches the mask, dives for the ball, spins, and fires a dart to first base over to Eisenstadt, and that retires the side. The Cougs managed to tally 2, but Gonzaga works himself out of a jam, and they still lead this game 10-8 as we move into the bottom of the 6th here at the Patterson Baseball Complex in beautiful Spokane, Washington. As night has descended, the lights are on. It's D1 Cougar baseball, Gonzaga baseball under the lights at night. It's what you dream of here if you're a college baseball fan, but you're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR, Cougar College Radio. Smith Slye joined by Nathan Eshelman. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
After 1 1/3 innings pitched, Eric Rodriguez's day is done, and the Cougs are going to lean on redshirt senior Caden Wickersham out of Oklahoma to try and get things under control here in the bottom of the 6th. Mikey Bell coming up to bat for Gonzaga. He is 1 for 1. Got a hit by pitch in the first, he got a single in the second, and then drew a walk in the fourth. First pitch to him. Just low and outside, ball 1. Good take from him, and he's ahead early on Wickersham. Now, Wickersham's got the second best ERA on the team, a 2.16. Has only given up 2 earned runs so far this year. As this pitch is grounded over to Dane Chavez. He fields, throws the first, and they got it. A 4-3 put out to kick off the bottom of the 6th. And Wickersham trying to work efficiently here a little bit late in this ball game.
If Wickersham can get some balls low in the zone to cause some ground outs, it would be great to get out of the innings quickly and save a little bit of the bullpen. We're in the bottom of the 6th, but there's already been 6 pitchers now for Washington State.
Ryder Young coming up to bat for Gonzaga. First pitch to him is sailed high and outside for ball 1. Ryder Young, 2 years at Chaffey College before transferring to Gonzaga this year. And the second pitch to him is also high and inside, ball 2. And while with Chaffey, he had a career .411 average, a career 1.214 OPS, 146 hits, 36 doubles, 23 home runs. The 2-0 pitch is lined into right field. No, it rattles down the glove of Ryan Shonsby, who tried to make a play. Flip to Wickersham. They got him. Ryan Shonsby reached out to try and snatch that ball out of the air, rattled out of the leather, picked it up, flipped over to Wickersham, and they still get the out. And it's a quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Wazoo trying to just slam the door on this Gonzaga offense.
And that was a great job by Wickersham being prepared. Like that seemed like it was going to be caught by Shonsby. Gold glove type of play, but it falls out. But he had the silver glove ready to go, tossing it to Wickersham, got the out, and now quickly 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. This is setting up an opportunity for Washington State to get back in the game once again, moving into the final 3 innings. But as Gonzaga scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th, I believe, it was from 2 outs. It's the 2-out hitting from the Bulldogs that has helped them out so much tonight, and they're going to want to continue it with some more runs with 0 runners on base.
Well, Tommy Eisenstadt's due up next for Gonzaga, but he's talking things over with his head coach just outside of the Gonzaga dugouts. And home plate umpire Tyler Schmidt's coming over to talk to him as well. I'm not sure what exactly they're chatting about. As finally they'll break from their little huddle. Eisenstadt will walk slowly to the lefty's batter's box. Lefty batter, righty pitcher. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 10-8. Gonzaga still leading. Wickersham trying to sit down the Bulldogs in order. He comes set, working from the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Eisenstadt. Just misses that high outside corner. Ball 1 to Eisenstadt.
Well, based off of the first 2 at-bats of this inning, a lot of low ball ground outs has been what's been helping the Cougars. So maybe speaking to Eisenstadt to tell him, be prepared.
This pitch is lined into left field. Backing up, Parise. Can he make a catch? Yes, he can. Jumps up, makes the grab, collides with the wall, fires it in, and the Bulldogs go down in order. 3 up and 3 down. They tally no runs, and the score remains 10-8. Gonzaga still leading, but Washington State trying to shut them down late in this matchup. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR, Cougar College Radio, coming to you live from the Patterson Baseball Complex in Spokane. We'll be back for the top of the 7th inning in just a few moments.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Well, the Bulldogs went down in order, 3 up, 3 down after Caden Wickersham came in and slammed the door on them. And the Bulldogs also will call to the pen and bring in senior Justin Feld, the righty out of Everett, Washington, played 1 year at Tacoma Community College. And he's going to try and slow down this Cougar offense. And on play-by-play, it's Nathan Eshelman.
Thank you very much, Smith. And Justin Feld, a name that is going to be needed right now. Washington State scored 2 runs last inning. They could score 2 runs again to tie it up. First pitch to the second baseman, Dane Chavez, catches the zone. 0-1 goes the count. Here in the top of the 7th, it's now completely dark outside. The lights shining brightly down on the Cougars and the Bulldogs. The 0-1 delivery goes outside. 1-1 goes the count. Pitcher on the mound, Justin Feld for Gonzaga. He's going to need to give him his best stuff, not the best ERA on the season. This 1-1 delivery goes low and outside. 2-1 goes the count. ERA for Justin Feld is 6.75, 13.1 appearances. Not the best performances whenever he does show up, but they're going to need him today. Dane Chavez off the hands, just goes foul. It was ripped to the left field. Does not go down in play, and it's going to have to be a redo on the 2-2.
Real inside-out swing there from Dane Chavez. It's kind of something you see out of Julio Rodriguez a lot. He has a lot of those inside-out swings. The only difference is Julio usually gets a base hit out of them. And unfortunately, Dane Chavez couldn't quite get that one between the white lines, and now he's got to face a 2-2 pitch.
Dane Chavez at a 200 batting average gets a hit every 5 at-bats. He's due for one right now. 2-2 delivery goes high. Full count now to the second baseman. Gonzaga does not want to give up a free pass once again. That's what started the scoring last inning with the hit by pitches. A walk would not help them. The full count to delivery. It's going to be fouled to the left side. Another turned hit from Dane Chavez, unable to get it in play. Going to redo the full count.
And for the Gonzaga outfielders, you got to learn from that and know you got to shift a little bit towards left field.
Feld's delivery fouled once again. This one just goes backwards, hits the dugout of Gonzaga. We're going to redo the 3-2. Justin Feld, right-hander, working against the left-handed Chavez. It's going to be a payoff pitch inside. It's going to be a walk. A great at-bat from Chavez. Hung in there strong and takes the full count walk.
I got to say, Nathan, both these teams, the Gonzaga and Wazoo, have been trading off with leadoff walks, leadoff hit by pitches. And again, a lot of times they're coming around to score. So that's the thing. Leadoff walks, leadoff hit by pitches, they tend to score a majority of the time. So right now, this is a good sign for the Cougs.
And Shonsby, the switch hitter, ready to go from the left-handed batter's box, working against the right-hander Feld. Feld's delivery does not find the zone, goes inside. 1-0 goes the count, 0 outs. Top of the 7th inning here in Patterson Baseball Complex, Spokane, Washington. Gonzaga holds a 2-run lead, 10-8. 3 innings left to play. Washington State runner on first base. He fakes the run, gets in the catcher's head, but the pitch to Shonsby does catch the zone. 1-1 count for Feld.
I love a fake steal. Good fake steal is a great way to get into a defense's head, into a pitcher's head, into a catcher's head, and it's how you can kind of just mess with them on the diamond.
Dane Chavez with some speed on first base. 1-1 count. Feld winds, delivers. Catches the zone once again. Shonsby is now down 1-2 in 0 outs. Dane Chavez does not want to get put into a double play. Washington State's defense helped them out in the 5th inning with a couple of double plays. They don't want Gonzaga to do the same. Feld. Deep breath. Wind. Delivers. Goes outside. 2-2 goes the count. High pressure situations seem to be appearing each at bat for Washington State. Every at bat matters. Each run matters. And they've been coming in bunches for both sides. Justin Feld delivers. Catches the outside of the zone. It's going to be a strikeout looking for Ryan Shonsby. 1 out now in the top of the 7th.
That's now the 8th strikeout of the night against Washington State. They have been getting fanned and caught looking numerous times in this game. The first one for Justin Feld. In this game, he's got 1 walk and 1 strikeout, so the ratio is perfectly balanced. But now Giger needs to get something going with 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Giger had a good single, or he had a nice walk and a double, which resulted in RBI early in the game in the 2nd inning. Takes the pitch and fouls it to the third base side. 0-1 goes the count. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Dane Chavez still on first base. Weather's getting colder and colder as the time goes on. It's 45 degrees, but it feels like 37 with the wind chill down on the field. 0-1 delivery. Catches the bottom of the zone. Giger unhappy with it, looking at the dugout on the third baseline. He's down 0-2. Pressure is on. Justin Feld, after giving up the full count walk, hangs in there. 1 out. 0-2 delivery. Giger flies it to right side. The second baseman gets over there and catches it. It's Shoop. Takes it from the right fielder. It's 2 outs in the inning now. Giger not getting a lot of power on the shot.
And just a pair of non-quality at-bats. First from Shonsby, now from Giger. Looking to strike out from Shonsby, a pop-out to Shoop at second base. And now Kyler Northrup, the sophomore out of Billings, Montana, needs to get something going. 2 outs, a runner on first base. That's Dane Chavez. You need to do something to bring him around. You cannot give a blank inning to the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They will not allow you to get back into this game if you continue to just not score any runs.
Feld's wind delivers. It's going to be low and away from Northrup. 1-0 goes the count. 2 outs, top of the 7th. The clutch time is now for both sides. Northrup swings. It's hit into right field, but it clips Dane Chavez, and he's going to be out because it clips him on the heel. That'll do it for the inning. It was a hard hit, would have resulted in a base hit, possibly Chavez on third, but it will result in an out And that'll do it for the top of the 7th. Gonzaga catches a break from a good contact hit from Northrop. Chavez unable to avoid it. Gets called out, running to second. And that'll do it for the top of the 7th. Gonzaga looking to add some insurance in the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to KUGR Radio, Student Voice of the Palouse.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Moving into the bottom of the 7th, a little bit of a wacky play in the top of the 7th. Washington State had a runner on first base from a walk to lead off the inning, and a Kyler Northrop base hit clipped him on the back of the heel with 2 outs, and that ended the inning for Washington State. An unfortunate error on the offensive side of the ball, but now they're going to stick with Caden Wickersham in the bottom of the 7th, going up against Maddox Haley, and it clips the zone. 0-1 goes the count against the hot bat of Maddox Haley, who has been a demon today for the Bulldogs.
You mentioned he had a double in the first, a home run in the third, and a double in the fourth, so he just continues to slug the baseball.
Wickersham, delivery popped straight back behind us even. 0-2 goes the count. 0 outs here, bottom of the 7th. Gonzaga, 10-8 lead for themselves here in their home opener in Spokane, Washington. Coach Steve Hertzfield, and on the mound, Wickersham delivers, barely misses the zone on a breaking ball. 1-2 goes the count. Great job by Haley, not swinging at the breaking ball.
And Wickersham's on his first strikeout of the outing. Came in last, and he was able to kind of get out of that with a scoreless performance. And let's see if he can't get his first strikeout of the day.
And Wickersham delivers. It's going to be lined straight to center field, phasing a little bit to the right. It's going to be picked up by Watterson. Watterson cuts it off, but it will be a leadoff single for Maddox Haley, who is now 4 for 4 on the day. And as you said earlier, a triple now is all he needs for a cycle.
I mean, it's just unfathomably hot right now from Maddox Haley, the junior from San Diego. I mean, it's hard to compete against someone who's this hot. And now you got Ricky Sanchez coming up to bat. You need to be able to get him out. He's 1 for 3 so far. You got to get him out.
Wickersham's delivery to Sanchez goes low, and it's going to be a 1-0 count. Sanchez, the shortstop. He only got on base earlier in the first inning with a single. Did not result in any runs. Wickersham's delivery catches the outside of the zone. 1-1 goes the count. Wickersham has been pretty good for Washington State. A sub-2 ERA for him on the season. Does not want to give up any runs to break his good streak. Wickersham's delivery goes high. Giguere able to collect it. 2-1 now the count. Wickersham having to understand the pressure of the situation. You're down 2 runs, cannot give up anything else for Gonzaga. You want the insurance. You want to add a little bit more sugar to your honey. Wickersham's delivery, swing and a miss from Sanchez. 2-2 now the count.
That's a good pitch there from Wickersham. You're behind in the count 2-1. You get a pitch that gets a swing and miss like that, 2-2. I said it before when I was talking about Haley, you're looking for your first strikeout of the outing. You got to get it right here against Sanchez.
Wickersham checks first. Winds, delivers, does not clip the inside. The count goes full for Sanchez. Sanchez with some pop in his bat with the full count. There could be a competitive pitch that Sanchez could send deep. Ken Wickersham winds, delivers, fouled straight back towards the right side. 3-2 count once again, 0 outs. Bottom of the 7th, Gonzaga with the 2-run lead. Gonzaga with double the amount of hits as Washington State, but the running errors for Washington State has helped them out. 2 hit by pitches brought in by a bunt. 3-2 pitch. Sanchez, high pop up to left side, but it's going to drift foul out of play, and the 3-2 count will happen once again.
And you mentioned before the fact that Gonzaga has twice as many hits as Washington State. They've been getting a lot of walks, hit by pitches. That's kind of the philosophy of Washington State baseball. Small ball, standing your ground, drawing walks, working good at bats. And then, of course, they've got runners on. And who has it been that's been driving most of these runs? Matthew Priest with a pair of home runs.
Pair of home runs and the bunt that actually brought in 2 runs as well. 7 runs brought in by the hands of Priest. Payoff pitch. Runner goes, but it goes outside anyway. It's going to be a full count walk with 0 outs. A runner in scoring position now for the Bulldogs. And Giger going to go to the mound to talk to Kane Wickersham.
And here comes head coach Nathan Choate as well, bringing in the whole infield. I don't know if they're going to bring someone in from the bullpen. Wickersham's been great. He was great last inning, showing some cracks here. No outs in the bottom of the 7th. Gave up a base hit and now a walk. So you got 2 runners on, no outs. You're down by 2. And I will say, just because you're down by 2 runs, that's nothing in college baseball. A 2-run lead is next to nothing. You might as well be tied, right? The Cougs can immediately wipe that away. And I mean, if I'm head coach Nathan Choate, I'm leaving Wickersham in. He's one of your better pitchers, one of your better relief pitchers. He has the 2nd best ERA on the team, but it looks like his day is going to be done. They're going to make a call down to the pen.
Well, Nathan Choate is the head coach for Washington State, unfortunately, and the move will be made to switch the pitchers from the bullpen here in the bottom of the 7th. 0 outs. Wickersham is done. They're going to bring on a new man to try to get out of the jam. You're listening to KUJR Radio. Don't go anywhere. We're still in it.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Gonzaga applying the pressure to Washington State even more. They're already up 2, but they have a runner on 2nd and first base with some speed from Maddox Haley and Ricky Sanchez. But the change coming for Washington State and the mound is going to bring up Gavin Durr instead of Caden Wickersham. Caden Wickersham, statistically on the year, does look a little better than Gavin Durr. Durr, with 9 innings pitched, has a 9.64 ERA. Not the most impressive start to the year, but the left-hander going up to go against Hudson Shoup for Gonzaga. They're going to need some quick outs and fast. It's going to be 0 outs with 2 runners on base. Gonzaga looking in a good shape right now. Gavin Durr checks 2nd. High windup, delivers. Shoop shows bunt, but pulls back just in time. 1-0 goes the count, 0 outs. Hudson Shoop, not much success on the day, only has a walk. Showing bunt might be good for him. He does have some good speed. Durr, another delivery goes outside, almost clips the left batter's box or the right-handed batter's box, but goes 2-0, 0 outs, still a runner on second and first.
If you're Gavin Durr, you cannot be afraid to go after a Shoop here. He's only batting 203 on the year, and he's 0 for tonight.
Shoop shows bunt again, and Durr, a high fastball, almost clips him. 3-0 goes the count, and a quick mound visit coming in from Gavin Roy and Giger, making sure that the pitcher is not going to be rattled in any way.
And Gavin Roy showing why he's the team captain for the Cougs. Kind of realizes that Gavin Durr immediately worked himself into a 3-0 count against Shoop. You got to slow things down. Right now, it could possibly be a concentration walk here for Gavin Durr. Your first batter you face, you're in a tight spot, no outs here in the bottom of the seventh, down by 2. You need to get this guy out. And like I mentioned, Hudson Shoop is 0 for today. He's only batting 203 after these past few at-bats. He's a guy who you can get out. But if you fall behind 3-0 because you're worried to put anything in the zone, you can't afford to do that if you're Gavin Durr in this spot. You need to attack the zone, pound strikes, and get this guy out because he's a guy in the order that you can get out.
Durr gonna try to work against one of the weaker batters for Gonzaga. 3-0 count. Delivers in a strike, pulled back bunt, still going to catch the zone. 3-1 goes the count. Here in Spokane, Washington, started with some daylight, now in full darkness in a night matchup between the Bulldogs and the Cougars. Durr, the pitch. It's going to be a bunt to the third base line. Good play by Northrop picking it up, but the runners do advance as Shoop is thrown out at first base. A nice play from the third baseman, a 5-3 bunt sacrifice to move the runners to third and second.
As much as Washington State plays small ball, so does Gonzaga. They play small ball, but also can play the long ball as well. So it's kind of a weird philosophy, identity of Gonzaga baseball, but now they got runners on second and third. Jacob Rubleski up to bat, and right now you're looking for the insurance runs.
Rubleski has been hot as of recently. Durr, the left-hander working against the right-hander. A nice breaking ball gets him swinging and missing. Great pitch from Durr. 0-1 count, 1 out. Runners on second and third. 9 spot, and Rubleski. Durr's pitch, low and inside. 1-1 goes the count. Jacob Rubleski on the day has a double and a run along with a single in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch from Durr goes low, almost clips Rubleski, but hit the dirt before it could. 2-1 goes the count. A good job blocking it by Giger to not let any runners move or at least come home even.
Now, way to work, Giger. I mean, Gavin Durr looking really shaky right now. He gave up the walk and then the hit by pitch. So, I mean,
and it's another pitch in the dirt. A block once again from Giger, and Durr maybe not being able to control his breaking balls nearly as well as he really needs to be doing right now.
Absolutely. It's a tough spot. 2 runners in scoring position. Now you got a 3-1 count. You got to give something to Rubleski to hit. He's batting .394. He has a hot bat right now.
3-1. Low and inside. Gonna do a walk, but a force out at every base now. A ground ball double play is possible, but not necessarily one of the guys you want to bring up to do it. Bo Schinkel at the top of the order for Gonzaga could break this game away and clinch it for Gonzaga.
Definitely a tough spot here. Bo Schinkel, he's a guy who could possibly get it done. He had a double back in the first. He hasn't been able to – he drew a walk back in the fifth, but he definitely can get something going here in the seventh.
And it's going to be a first pitch delivered strike from Gavin Durr. Could be a strategy right now from Washington State to just get the runners in a motion where it's an easy double play and get quickly out of it. It's actually going to be a ball low in the dirt. Giger, once again, having to block it low. He's had a lot of experience doing that just so far today with the amount of pitchers he's gone up to bat with.
And Gavin Durr is putting him in a rough spot right here. Giger forcing to have to work.
Giger. Durr, his pitch goes low once again. 2-1 goes the count. That one wasn't in the dirt, but it was too low of the zone. Bo Schinkel now with the advantage in the count. 1 out. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 7th. 2-run lead for Gonzaga. 2-1 pitch goes outside. 3-1 goes the count to Bo Schinkel. Nowhere to put Schinkel. Gavin Durr cannot give him any balls or bad pitches. The left-hander. Durr's pitch does not catch the zone, and it's going to be an RBI walk for Bo Schinkel.
That is a concentration walk right there where, again, you have nowhere to put him. Gavin Durr, pressure on him in a tough spot, a 10-8 ball game, now 11-1 after that walk brings in a run. And it might be it for Gavin Durr as well, and it is. They're going to call to the bullpen, so Gavin Durr only goes 1/3 of an inning, and in that 1/3, that one stretch, he gave up 1 run. So he did not do his job for the Cougs, and now they're forced to have to dip even further into their bullpen, which historically has not been the best.
Well, because of the amount of walks that Durr gave up, it is actually going to be a run counted against Wickersham because he was the one who put them on with a single and the walk here in the bottom of the 7th. There's only 1 out. Gonzaga already has a run looking to do more damage. Durr's day is done, and another pitcher for Washington State coming in to the game. It's going to be a tough break, but they're still looking to get out of this jam. We're going to go to break, though. You're listening to KUGR Radio, student voice of the Palouse.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Bottom of the 7th. Gonzaga holds a 3-run lead over the Washington State Cougars. It is 11-8. Bases are loaded for the Bulldogs, and they have a chance to bring on more with Noah Meffert up to bat. But for Washington State, a new pitcher on the mound, relieving Gavin Durr, Rylan Hyder coming into the game. He has a 4.7 ERA on the year with 15 innings pitched. Hyder's pitch goes low and away. 1-0 goes the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
And this game is well within reach of Washington State. I mean, now it's 11-8, but like I said, in college baseball, a 3-2-run lead doesn't really mean that much.
Hyder's 1, delivers. Check swing does go, and it's going to be a 1-1 count now against Meffert. A lot of walks this inning has succeeded for Gonzaga. They got their run in from a walk from Gavin Durr. Now the right-hander Hyder working against the right-hander Meffert. It's going to be in off the hands into the outfield. Hartman unable to pick it up cleanly, and only 1 run is brought in. They did not bring in Jacob Robleski. They held him in at 3rd, but a 1-run single to the outfield from Noah Meffert gives Gonzaga a 4-run lead.
And that was a bit rough there from Max Hartman in right field. Like you said, kind of bobbled the ball, couldn't really pick it up properly. Probably could have sent Jacob Robleski, but he is a catcher, so don't know how fast he is per se. So probably the good move to throw on the stop sign there. Just play station-to-station baseball because now you got Mikey Bell up to bat.
Another multi-run inning for Gonzaga this ball game. And now Mikey Bell takes a strike. 0-1 goes the count. 12-8 is the score. Bottom of the 7th. Washington State has 2 innings to make up the runs. 1 out. Bases loaded. Rylan Hyder delivers. Low. A check swing does not go. 1-1 does the count. Jaguar peeled to the first baseline, but umpire Michael Godell said that it was not a go-around check swing. Hyder, his 1-1. Low again, does not catch the zone. 2-1 goes the count. And right now it seems like Hyder is going with the low zone to try to force a ground ball double play, get him quickly out of the inning. Anything sent to the outfield would most likely bring in Robleski on third base. Bases loaded still. 2-1 count. Inside ball, 3-1. Nowhere to put Mikey Bell. Could be another RBI walk for the Bulldogs.
Well, you mentioned it, Nathan. You're looking for a ground ball here. You're looking for a tailor-made double play up the middle to Gavin Roy or Dane Chavez. You need to get 2 outs to get out of this inning.
Hyder, 3-1. Swing and a miss on Mikey Bell. High fastball outside. Could not catch up to it. 3-2 count now. Bases loaded with 1 out. Rylan Hyder. Full count. Pressure on him. The freshman right-hander. Full count delivery. Goes low. And it's another RBI walk in the bottom of the 7th for the Bulldogs. 3 runs brought in now.
You see, Nathan, the word that I would use for this is sad. It is very sad to have back-to-back RBI walk. Well, pardon me, there was an RBI single from Noah Meffert, but still, 2 times now in the same inning where you've walked in a runner when you had nowhere to put him. You cannot do that at a D1 level. Now it's 13-8 Gonzaga leading.
Still only 1 out. Bases loaded. A chop from Ryder Young. Hyder catches, but it goes over the head of Jaguar, and another run comes in from third base. 2 runs in now. A chopper, what should have been an easy play and an out, it goes awry, and it ends up being 2 runs scored off of an error from Rylan Hyder.
You know how we say the wheels are falling off? The wheels are falling off here, Nathan.
For Nathan Choate and Washington State, it really seems like it. The bullpen cannot get the pitches in the zone or on target. And just like that, it's a 7-run ball game. Runners on third and second base. Great job by Ryder Young to just advance to second off of the chaos. 1 out still in the inning. No chance of a double play right now. Tommy Eisenstadt up to bat. The left-hander working against the right-handed Hyder. Hyder's pitch. Fouled off of maybe Jaguar or Eisenstadt. Either way, it's going to be an 0-2 count now. Hyder with the advantage.
Yeah, it looks like he fouled it off the ground and off the leg. Those ones definitely hurt as a batter when you foul it right into the body. I mean, just kind of stings a little bit. He gets a little bit of time to catch his breath, but now he's got a battle against an 0-2 count.
It has been a messy inning for Washington State, but the 0-2 count. Hyder delivers it, but Eisenstadt delivers it off of the glove of Northrup. It's going to be off his glove, and 2 more runs score for Gonzaga. And just like that, a mercy roll is at play. They only need 1 more run to go up by 10.
And the Gonzaga Bulldogs have officially batted around. That Eisenstadt was the last man who hadn't come to the plates so far in that game. And here comes head coach Nathan Choate, and it might be the end of the day for Rylan Hyder as well, who comes into this game and just gives up a flurry of runs. So now it's 17-8. And like you mentioned, if they get 1 more run, this ball game is over. This was a game that we were saying was a bit of a punching match, just back and forth and back and forth and back. But now in the bottom of the 7th, the Gonzaga Bulldogs have put up 7 runs and have basically put their foot on the throat of the Cougs and said, no, not tonight, not on our field. We are going to blow you out on our home turf.
There is one last hope and gasp for Washington State. As bad as it looks, they're down 9 runs. A new pitcher coming into the game. Washington State, it's not looking great, but They still got a shot. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to KUGR Radio, student voice of the Palouse. Bottom of the 7th, bottom of the barrel for Washington State in their bullpen. Dylan O'Neill coming in, going up against Maddox Haley, who has been dominant all game long, has not missed base once, 4 for 4, and he has a chance to walk it off for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Takes a 1-0, 1 out, runner on second base. Tommy, there's a ball ripped to left field. It's going foul. Just foul. Was almost a walk-off home run from Maddox Haley. Gonzaga would have gone nuts if that would have stayed fair and would have been just an amazing way to end the game. Bottom of the 7th, almost with a walk-off, no doubter.
Oh, goodness. Third base umpire Ken Diber called that ball foul. And to be perfectly honest with you, if I'm Ken Diber, I want to put the Cougs out of their misery, just a bit of a mercy kill. Say, hey, you know, that could have been foul. That could have been fair. Let's call it a fair ball and let's go home. Because it is 17-8, Gonzaga leading with an explosive inning so far. They put up 7 runs. And again, it's almost, take mercy on the Cougs. Just say, hey, with one swing of the bat, this game's over. Let it stand. But they call it foul. And now they're coming together to talk about it. Gonzaga really kind of griping about that. They probably also want to go home early. They want a mercy rule to kick in. I'm sure the Cougs do as well. The Cougs showing no fight, 0 fight here late in this game. So for them, you want to get out of this game as soon as you can, and that would have been an excuse to be able to do it. So right now for the Cougs, you just want to get out of this game.
To some credit to Washington State, they put up some fight on the offensive end of things. A good offense performance so far throughout the game. They do have 8 runs only through 7 innings, but the downside of that, the pitching might have been their worst of the season so far. It's under further review whether this is going to be a foul or a walk-off moonshot to end the game. This review will let us know whether or not this game is over or not.
Again, I mentioned it before. For Gonzaga wants it to be fair. I'm really sure Wazoo wants it to be fair as well. You're losing 17-8. You're getting just punched in the mouth over and over again here in the 7th inning, an inning where the wheels just completely fell off. I mean, for Dylan O'Neill, you probably want to stay in this game. You're getting an opportunity to come in and be able to play for one of the few times so far this year. He's only made 3 appearances so far this year. This is his 4th. So for him, he wants to kind of milk it for as much as he possibly can. So for him, he's kind of hoping they come back and say this is a foul ball. But I don't know, Nathan, from where I was sitting, that looked like a fair ball. That looked like that was just able to get over the fence. A good hit there from Haley. And I'm sure he wants that to go out as well to help stat the pat the stats. That was the word I was looking for. Pat the stats a little bit here late in this ball game.
I mean, if he went 5 for 5 with 2 home runs on top of a walk-off, he would be feeling phenomenal. And I think he would buy a team dinner. Looking at the reviews here with our monitors, it is so hard to tell, but that really could be fair depending on how the poll goes. Only 328. It was ripped just high enough, and it maybe trailed foul, but it is just so close to call. And with everything else that's been happening, I don't know if it'll be overturned, especially with the ruling on the field being a foul ball.
I can't really blame Ken Diver, the third base umpire. It's dark out. You have the lights on, and sometimes when that ball gets up high like that, over the lights, you can lose sight of it. You lose track of where it is, and you don't really see it until it starts to come back down. So sometimes it might look as though it was always foul, but sometimes it could start in fair territory, you get over the fence, be a home run, and then tail foul after that. So it's a really hard call to make as an umpire. So I wouldn't blame him if he's put into a bit of a tough spot there. But again, if I'm Ken Diver, you get paid regardless of how long the game goes. I would really want to go home a little bit early and say, yeah, that's a fair ball. Game over. Let's pack it up and let's go home. That would be if I was Ken Diver, if I was in his shoes, if I was down there on the third base line, that's what I'm doing. So I can get to go home and get an early dinner.
Well, the early dinners might have to wait depending on how the call goes. Either way, there's still so much pressure put up against Washington State. If it's still a foul ball, it's only going to be a 1-1 count against him, 1 out, and a man still on second base. A base hit would end the ball game as well. So even if this is not a home run, the Cougars are not out of the woods, and Dylan O'Neill would still have to put up some good stuff. Whether or not he wants to go home or the Cougars want to go home, it's definitely a stretch. Looking at the warm-up pitches, O'Neill still kind of warming up. It's been a cold night, and there's been so many breaks in play, but the officials coming out to give the call. The call is overturned. It's going to be a home run, a walk-off home run. Gonzaga's dugout jumping, losing their minds. And he's faking the home run swing. It appears that there's more discussion happening. Nathan Choate, a little upset and furious. He's out on the field talking to the umpires, understanding what is happening. Looking at the monitors, Choate definitely a little aggressive in his speech.
Yeah, you definitely see him here on the monitors, red in the face. I mean, he's usually red in the face, but a little bit more red than usual, kind of matching the crimson jacket and crimson hat that he's got on. He's really laying into the crew chief and umpires down there on the field. He is frustrated. You can tell he's just frustrated that the umpires are not giving them a chance to battle back into this game, even though the Cougs are down 17-8. And after that home run now, 19-8, the mercy rule kicks in. Like you mentioned, Maddox Haley was going to do what you see people do when they have to go to review and come back and confirm that's a home run. You have to fake the swing, and you have to touch all 4 bases. So you get to have your home run trots, but, without the actual bat in your hand, without the actual ball, you just kind of go through the motions. And so it's a little bit of a theatrical display there from Haley, but then the head coach for Gonzaga kind of shut it down right away because they can see that head coach Nathan Choate's still talking things over with the umpires. It hasn't been set in stone quite yet.
And this may be one of the not most cinematic of moments we've seen with walk-offs, but either way, it's going to be a walk-off home run in one heck of a performance for Maddox Haley. The fake swing and the runner coming in from second. Tommy, this is going to be the game-winning run officially. He's the 18th. He's got the 10-run lead, but coming in, trotting around third, Maddox Haley ready to get swarmed by his teammates at home plate. He does it. He walks off the Washington State Cougars. Gonzaga with 9 runs put up in the bottom of the 7th. Mercy rule the Washington State Cougars in the bottom of the 7th inning here in Spokane, Washington. Wow.
We said, Nathan, that this at the beginning of the game was a slugfest. Both these teams just throwing haymakers at each other, going back and forth and back and forth. I mean, Matt Parise, have a day. I shed a tear for you. You had the performance of a lifetime after winning Freshman of the Week for the Mountain West Conference. You do it again against Gonzaga. Just have a stellar performance, but your team cannot back you up. You cannot beat the Gonzaga Bulldogs if you only get 6 hits to their 15. The Gonzaga Bulldogs more than double the hits that you have in that game, put up 19 runs, just shy of 20. You can't beat teams that way if you're the Washington State Cougars. And for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, that's just a good win from them, a good win that they just able to pull away late in the game. It was looking like it was going to be a shootout down to the wire, down to the 9th inning. Could have gone to extras potentially, but no, they decided to end it early and go get themselves an early dinner.
9 runners reach base in the bottom of the 7th, with the final runner being Maddox Haley walking it off. Just what a way. It was initially called foul and ends up being a walk-off home run. I don't know if I've ever seen that in my time watching baseball, but it was such a crazy game. And as you said, the haymakers back and forth all match long. And then in the bottom of the 7th, it seems like they put some steel in their right hook and just knocked the Cougars out. What a win for Gonzaga. Washington State goes down limping. And even though this was Gonzaga's home opener, they're going to have to travel on the road going to California in their next matchup. And for Washington State, they're going to travel down south just about an hour and a half. Looking ahead to this weekend series, they're going to have to bounce back in a big way, specifically with the pitching. But that'll do it here for our broadcast here in Spokane, Washington from Patterson Baseball Complex. My name's Nathan Eshelman. I was joined by Smith Slye. Thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful night.